What's going on? What's going on? Y'all ready what time it is? Y'all already know what time it is. It's Mr. Wipe Your Feet Off on the Mat time. It's time to get into it as we do. Make no mistake, it is time to talk the breaking news of the day, the breaking news every week. The Carolina Panthers hire Dave Canales, and I'm talking about, yes, the guy that brought Baker Mayfield back to life. Yes, the guy that has an extensive background that worked with Geno Smith and was the number one cause of his resurgence. Yes, Dave Canales. Let's make no mistake about it. On your way in, make sure that you comment, you like, you subscribe. Today is a day where I think Panther fans were scratching their heads while some others seem to rejoice. So I'm gonna just be real with you, man. Um, the number one thing that a lot of people have to understand that change is an uncomfortable process. You got to understand that in order to come into something new, sometimes you just don't understand the moves that comes forth. But that doesn't mean that it's not a forward progressive move. That doesn't mean that it's not a move that is not trended towards the right direction. It just means that it's a move that you can't understand. But make no mistake about it. You want to know who Canalvez is? This guy, like I said, started off in Carson High School. There, he began his career as a head coach. Then he went to El Camino College. He went to USC. He spent some time there. And this is crazy because when Pete Carroll was at USC, the relationship with him and Pete Carroll they seemed to merge there at the hip back at USC. So then he followed Pete Carroll in 2010 right on over to the Seahawks. This guy right here came in, and I mean, he was the wide receivers coach from 2010 to 2017. Wide receivers coach. Another fella. You get a guy that's a wide receivers coach. You get a guy that comes in and he has a background. Oof, he has a background of basically coming in and working with receivers, balled within the crew. Like I said, he had a good cast to work with, and he squeezed lemons and made lemonade out of it. This guy was pretty good. All I'm going to say is he elevated from wide receivers coach to quarterbacks coach to offensive coordinators with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past season. And you saw him take Baker Mayfield from the cemetery. He was in quarterback cemetery. And he took that guy and made him everything short of special, and they won the division. So talk to me, Rare. How you feeling about this?
Uh, Sorry if I got a lot of background. I'm at work right now, and it's been a rough, rainy day. But I like the pick. You got to think he overlapped with Dan Morgan out in Seattle. I put in the Discord earlier. Head coach. He started off wide receiver coach. Then he started working as a quarterback coach, passing coordinator. The year that Geno Smith basically succeeded Russell Wilson, got Geno Smith come back player of the year. You got to think Geno Smith was bumping around the league for a while too. Even though he did call plays, Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield was in quarterback territory, like you said, because he went from Cleveland, LA, Carolina, somewhere else to now succeeded at the Buccaneers. I think it's a great pick. Like him and Dan Morgan, like I said, they got the tie. Dan Morgan with his background, his pedigree. You got a hot offensive play caller. I still think Vrabel was the pick, me personally, but you actually got the
Now,
yams.
I told you last. Shout out to the Yams. I told you last night that Vrabel was not going to be the guy. I told you last night, Dan Morgan and that relationship with Canalves, I got to start pronouncing his name right. Uh, Seeming to be something that you need to take a look at because they had time and they had ties with Seattle. But I said, number one thing. Now let's put this in full perspective, real. Everybody understands he's a mid hire. Everybody understands that he is hired for what he done with Baker Mayfield. But I'm gonna take it a little bit deeper. I'm gonna take it a little bit deeper, real.
Okay, big pause. Okay.
Yeah. Pause. Number one. Number one, this guy was brought in off of the relationship and the strength of Dan Morgan. Now, the number one thing is the Carolina Panthers have been under a dictatorship with David Tepper since being taken over. And the number one thing that a lot of people are looking at or missing, Tepper's guy was Ben Johnson. That's number one. His guy was Ben Johnson. So for him to allow Dan Morgan to be hired, number one, he had to concede that he was not going to get Ben Johnson or Alec Hallaby in the crew because those were the guys that he was enamored with. Now, in order for him to take, go ahead.
Or Dan Morgan said, "Hey, let me cook." Look, because you got to think Ben Johnson as he got the second interview with anybody yet. He can't do that until the end of this week. So we know that Ben Johnson's interviewed once here. You know, Tepper probably gonna think like he'll move like the hell in the heavens to get Ben Johnson. So for Dan Morgan to come in and say, "Hey, bro, let me cook. I got this. I've done this. I've seen this done. This is how an organization should be run." That, as a Carolina Panthers fan, if that doesn't excite you in the last 3 or 4 or 6 years from Tepper, I don't know what would. Literally.
Yeah, you were going in and out a little bit right there, but I get it. The excitement from the Carolina Panthers, as it should be, is Tepper just conceded power over to Dan Morgan in a nutshell. He said, "Okay, I'm hiring you to be the GM. My guy is Ben Johnson. I'm looking at Vrabel." They met with Vrabel last night, and they said, "Okay, directly after that meeting, let's go ahead and go with Canalves, whatever his fucking name is, Canalves." I'm gonna be real with you. For Tepper to swallow that pill says to me, I am going to trust Dan Morgan and his ability to build this team the correct way and head us in the right direction. In spite of what I want Ben Johnson. I want Alec Hallaby, and I want, like I said, he wanted Brian Johnson and the crew from Philly. So in spite of what I want, I'm gonna trust Dan Morgan to take this thing over.
Great. Not a home run pick, it's a double. And I mentioned his name a couple of times before when Dan Morgan got hired. Has it been a week yet? I don't think it's been a week. So I mentioned his name before and everything like that. I think it's a good pick. He goes in there knowing that Bryce Young is not his quarterback. He goes in there knowing, Panthers fans, he goes in there knowing Bryce Young is not his quarterback.
Mm.
But he also goes there knowing, hey, I fixed Geno Smith.
Now, I got a little bit of pushback on you, Real. I got a little bit of pushback on you. I'm under the impression that they hired him because he probably said to Dan Morgan, hey, we want you to take on. Dan Morgan probably went to him and said, hey, see what you can fix with Bryce. I know football. I know Bryce isn't the guy, but we need to at least see what we can get out of him in 1 year. I just saw you got table scraps out of Baker's ass. So I need you to work your magic and see what you can do because Baker Mayfield came here to Carolina. Think about the irony of this right here. Baker Mayfield came to Carolina and looked like the worst quarterback that we have ever seen. He leaves here, goes to LA and flourish, goes to Tampa Bay and win the division. And now you take the guy that helped Baker supplant himself because he just got Baker another contract, whether people realize that or not. He just got Baker money.
That's what they're saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So in order to do that and understand that if you got Baker Mayfield paid and back into irrelevance, you got to have some kind of idea. I don't know if they're going to ask him to put together a package for Bryce or look at what he done best. Because in Seattle, you got to look at what he done best. They didn't have they had Russell Wilson, same type of mold that Bryce is from. They had a strong running game with beast mode. And what they would do, they would stretch the field with tight ends and wide receivers with Baldwin in the crew. They had guys that would stretch that field and they ran the ball and did a lot of play action.
Mm-hmm.
I expect them to fully. Now look at what they did in Tampa Bay with Baker. They ran that ball and they caught Mike Evans and Godwin always open on play action. I expect
Also,
them to come and fully bring that same thing here in Carolina.
and also, I see a comment from who that dude to me. He said the Bucks is the worst run team in the NFL. Don't fit the pounding thing. So what happened was, and you could go see Seattle, how their current roster is constructed, and how the Geno Smith years was, and everything like that. With Tampa Bay and Seattle. I'm a big one running back workhorse guy, but they actually did like a true like running back by community. They'll throw 4-5 running backs at you in a game. They'll have like 6 or 7 carries and stuff like that. So that's what's going to happen to Carolina and everything like that. So like I said, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. It's you could go worse.
Oh my bad. I've been talking this whole time muted. Look, the number one thing is shout out. I just had a moment, y'all. But the number one thing is shout out to Carolina Logic and to everybody who watching this. Understand and hear me clearly when I say this. David Tepper is a smart cat. He's all about money. He's all about making money a certain way. And think about the number one thing he did. The number one thing he did was he went out and got a Spanish ethnic base uh coaching hire. Number one thing he wants to do is, and I'm saying Tepper is always a money making transitional smart kind of guy. He wanted to also appeal to the Spanish fan base. Let's think about it. Soccer. Let's think about all the money he's making from the Charlotte FC. Shout out to Carolina Logic for putting that nugget in my head earlier. Tampa is the type of guy that he wants to make money on top of money. He wants to make money on top of money. So after Ben Johnson struck out, he looked and he said, what other way can I get, diversity in through the door than to bring in a guy like Canales, who one appeals to the Spanish community, which one also shows that David Tepper is a man of many backgrounds, diversity. He isn't what you think he is because people always question. They always say, "Hey, David Tepper wouldn't go out and get a coach that's you know other ethnic background." That's what people say all the time. He wouldn't get a black coach or anything like that. So the fact that he went out and got this guy makes you think about it too. Now Rooney higher. I'm just saying, real. I don't know if you heard that, but just think about it. Putting it out there.
No, it makes sense, and I do think Canaveres. I do think that he was probably number 2 or number 3 top young offensive coordinators hires, probably behind like a Slowick and a Ben Johnson and everything. So you don't get an established coach, so you get a coach for the cheap as well. So like I said, it's good picks. It's a definitely a good pick. I think Dan Morgan is a B plus higher, and I think Canaveras is a B plus higher as well. I can't hear you.
I don't know how I keep getting muted, but my man said he had his dog Steve Wilkes right there, and we overlooked him. I mean, let's be real. I like Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes would have been a great culture move, but I think, like I said, we would have probably ended up in the same predicament where he probably would have got cut eventually because I don't see him winning. He wouldn't have been winning enough to get us into the playoffs,
You
and
gotta
with
think,
the patience. Mm-hmm.
yeah, because Steve Wilkes been a head coach before. We see what he did in Arizona. He should never get another Canales. Oh, Canales.
Canales.
Canales. Okay, but Steve Wilkes should never get another head coaching job ever again. Ever again. For what he did in Arizona. Ever again. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. No.
Damn, you hard on Steve Wilkes.
What has he done? Some people are
Oh
good at
shit.
being. Some people are good at like being position coaches and coordinators. It's cool.
Mo-
Canales
okay,
could be one of those too.
we got a question in the chat. Shout out to Omar Tillman for putting the pressure on our ass. Number one, he said, "What is the expectations with Canales and how many years till playoff appearances?"
The team was awful though.
Whoo,
um, I, six. The floor is 6 wins.
six. I'm about to say. I thought you said 6 years. I said, damn.
I think 6 wins the floor. I think that's the floor. I think we could easily win 4 more games this year. I
I
think
really think having a good GM, having this roster with the right players in here and the philosophy, and having a culture is going to
mhm,
change a lot of things. We only won 2 games this year. I think, like you said, we may go up to 5 to 6. We may
mhm.
improve to 5 because you can't get any worse. Can't get
Yeah,
any fucking worse. I'm gonna tell you that
yeah,
right now. To
yeah.
anybody that's saying that we could be worse, no sir. If we lost 0 games, we would still have the same effect. It was
You can't
terrible
say
this year.
you can't say that, Stephen Bailey. He said, unless we get well, unless we get rid of some players for picks, it'll take a minimum 3 years to contend. No, because Houston, they literally was like 3 years away this offseason, and they contended.
Yeah.
So
But
it could
that was
easily
with the
happen.
right hire, though, Rail. You got to remember
Well,
now,
well, the stars
Bobby
perfectly
Slowick.
aligned for you, Houston.
Well, they first of all they picked the right quarterback.
The right
Second of
head coach.
all, they got the right head coach in there, and the right head coach got the hell out of the way of the offensive coordinators. Play calling. They didn't mash. They didn't intertwine with each other. They work well off of each other. They didn't work against each other. I think people thought number one that coming in there, my man was going to be limited because he was a defensive minded coach. But what he did was went out there and got a guy that he believed in to take him to the promised land. I like Slowick.
I like them too. But everybody's
I,
not just because you're a good play caller. That don't mean you're going to be a good head coach. And like I said, that could be for Ben Johnson. That could be for Slowick. That can also be for Canales.
yeah, and that's facts. Look, we got us a new head coach in here. The expectations should be coming in trying to win at least 5+ games for next year. Um, how intentional are those 5 games going to be? Like, how realistic will it be to win 5 games next year? It's going to depend upon what moves the GM Dan Morgan makes after this. But at least now we know we have a guy that's going to come in. Now we just need to learn his offensive philosophy and what he wants to do.
I know that that article from the Athletic like got published, and it was like saying like the front office was like Game of Thrones and Hunger Games with Dan Morgan as the GM. That would that locker room and that practice field need to look like. It need to look like Game of Thrones and Hunger Games. It need to be everybody competing. You don't get anything. Nothing is deserved. You have to earn everything, and that's why I think he's going to get people and alphas on that team, people who want to earn it, people who want to be Carolina Panthers, not people who want to be paid, get a paycheck. So I definitely think it's a good. I definitely think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
And at
Atlanta
least
boy,
we
what's
know.
up?
At least we know the GM and the coach is on the same page,
Q,
which we didn't think that with Fitterer and Frank.
Q. Let me ask you a question.
Talk
So
to
they,
me.
so they say this man. Oh, he's like the next Pete Carroll and all that, right? Like that's his protege, so to speak, right?
Yes,
Mimicking
sir.
the whole Seattle movement. How many
Uh-huh.
successes has Pete Carroll had?
How many successors?
Yeah.
Hell, he ain't had nobody.
Oh,
None,
okay.
none, none. I'm
So
talking
he
about
He
go.
no.
ain't had
Okay.
nobody off of his tree.
Okay. So he gonna be first. All right. Cool. So second, you telling me this guy can only put up 9 points against our defense? Don't get me wrong, our defense is good, but I mean, come on, we didn't have a fully staff when we played them.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: we have a number 3 total defense finishing for the year, and that shouts out to Ajero Evero for being a damn magician, being a hell of a stand-up guy. Now the question is, you said offensively, only being able to put up 9 points against us was an atrocity, right?
Correct.
Oh man, I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna hit you with this. Ajero Evero is such a brilliant mind that he held them. He only allowed them to run on us. He took away the passing game from them a little bit to be able to nullify them because I think they got a field goal and they scored 1 touchdown on us, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna be real with you, man. I think, and this is gonna go overlooked. I think Ajero Evero and his greatness has was overshadowed. I don't think that they showed him enough love for what he was able to do this season. So I don't think it's any knock against Canalves. I just think that Evero just that damn good of a coach, bro.
So let me tell you this: if that's the case, then we should have hired Evero as the head coach, like I said,
Y-
and
yes, sir.
Canales should have been overpaid as an offensive coordinator. But that would have been a elaborate move, so they weren't gonna do that.
Well, and I'm a firm believer in our guys, and when I say our guys, you know what I mean. Have to work 10 times as harder to achieve some of the stuff that these other guys get. Now, Jero Evero came in here with the 3-4. He changed the entire defense. He worked with a lot of players after so many injuries, and still yet he didn't get his fair share. I don't think he got a fair nod at offensive. I mean not an offensive, at head coach. I don't think
But
he
see,
got his fair nod.
this the thing, Q. This man has been up and running for one, say 2 years for a head coach.
Yeah.
Before he got this job, he was doing interviews for head coaching when he was in Denver. Interviews
Hmm.
for head coaching. If I'm gonna hire an offensive coordinator 1 year, I gotta go with Slowick, bro. I gotta go with him. I'm sorry. If I'm looking at 1 year progress, I gotta go with Slowick. Hands down. This dude,
But
what's
that's the
Tampa
thing.
Bay's offense rank?
They're not looking at just only Tampa Bay with him. They're looking at what he did with Russell Wilson in Seattle as well as the office as the quarterbacks coach
Geno
there.
Smith.
Yeah, and Geno Smith being the quarterback's guy that turned. I mean, if you could turn Geno after being a 10-year bust into something special, and then
Exactly.
you come make Baker Mayfield, who looked like shit with us. Offensive, first of all, offensive productivity is hard to come by in the NFL. And when you got a guy that made 2 guys come out here and look really good, it's worth taking a look at. Atlanta boy.
And you gotta also think
I
Dan
just
Morgan
did.
was in that building too. So Dan Morgan seen the work that Canales put in. So if he said like, hey, if he know that he has a owner with a quick trigger finger, and he knows that he has a very short leash, and he knows that he has to put his faith in the coach to implement and construct a roster that he wants, and he picked Canales, okay.
I sure hope this man is a leader of men, boy. Cause boy, it's a
Well,
lot of turnover in that locker room, boy.
they talk about Canalves and they talk about what he was to Tampa Bay, and they said he was one of the main reasons why those guys were so inspired to play for him. Now, this is the word through the grapevine. Word through the grapevine, he's a leader. He ain't no damn yes man himself. Word through the grapevine is he is that guy in Tampa Bay. In 1 year, he solidified himself as that guy over there. So I'm not a huge fan of the hire, nor am I a huge fan of any of the candidates that we had left over because I told you my guy was Jim Harbaugh from the get go. That's who I
There you
wanted.
go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
But they
So
didn't even
there
look
you
his
go.
they didn't look his way. So
You know
he
why?
just went to the Chargers.
And
Well,
he got a
why
first
Atlanta
and
boy?
upper. Well, the fact that he doesn't want to relinquish power with the same thing he had to deal with in San Francisco.
But
Now they
I
had an egg
disagree
on
with
their
you on that
face.
though.
They
I
had an egg on their
disagree.
face, and then they finally got it right. And then the new uh, GM slash head coach. Now they giving him power. Now look at him now.
So let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Dan Morgan was on whose board as a GM hire? Was he on any of our board as a GM hire?
Of course not. He wasn't on nobody board. He was just in the Panthers' fucking back pocket. He was the backup coach.
He was Scott Fitterer's guy. Now the word has dropped out that he was very much so against all the moves that Scott Fitterer made, and they said that he was.
Hello?
Can you hear me? They said that he was very much so against all the moves that Scott Fitterer made. He had no intention of going along with a lot of that. Now, be mindful. I didn't say this. It's being put out there. Now that the whispers
Hello?
are, can you hear me, real?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, y'all heard me the whole time?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I had my connection had messed up. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So Dan Morgan was a guy that David Tepper essentially didn't want. He wanted Alec Hellaby from Philadelphia. That was the guy he was enamored with. He wanted analytics. That's the guy that he saw was his guy. But for some reason, I don't know what gave him a change of heart. He decided to go with Dan Morgan, and he said, "I'm going to trust." Because people say Dan Morgan is no pushover. Everybody
You
know
know
Dan
why he went
Morgan.
with Dan Morgan?
What's up?
He went with Dan Morgan because he brings that old school Carolina Panther mentality. He's gonna get the Vans. He's gonna get the OGs that play for Carolina. They're gonna start coming back to the field. So that was not a bad
Exactly.
hire. Because
It's a
the
PR
problem
move.
with exactly, it's nothing but a thank you. That's all I'm saying. It's a PR move.
Hmm.
That's
I'm
all I'm
hearing the
saying.
It's
complete
a PR
opposite.
move.
I'm hearing the
What's up?
complete opposite. Current players and former Panthers, everybody in that building, they are excited because they know that Dan Morgan can get the job done if given and afforded the opportunity to get the job done. You get what I'm saying? Without being
Hmm.
micromanaged. If you got Greg Olson and Julius Pepper shaking their titties, you got Frankie Louvu shaking his titties for hiring Dan Morgan, somebody you already have in the building. Like I said, a former All-Pro linebacker, a former Super Bowl player, a former,
Hmm.
um, Butkus Award winner in college.
Hmm.
You got this guy in your organization, and he's pro scout at Seattle. So you got to think
Hmm.
that Legion of Boom team, he scouted a lot of those people as well.
Hmm.
Then he went to Carolina North in Buffalo and cut his
Right.
teeth there. That whole team basically he helped design, and then he came back here. I don't think there's a bad pick. I don't think it's a PR pick to get Dan Morgan, especially if he was against and it's documented through meeting notes that he was against a lot of those picks that Fitterer made, or picks and trades and decisions that Fitterer made. Seems
Oh,
like you
so
had the
it
right
was
guy in the building at the right
so.
time. I mean, but it's just in the wrong position.
Wait a minute. So it's pure documentation that basically Scott Fitter went against the grain on a lot of these decisions he made. Com-
That Dan Morgan
comparing,
didn't agree with it, allegedly. Allegedly.
okay,
That's what
allegedly.
they're saying. We haven't had one person to stick their name to that completely. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, ain't nobody gonna stick
But
their name to that.
the word around the street is he did not want a lot of those moves that Scott Fitterer made. So with that being said,
He didn't
David
want
Tepper
Bryce Young.
said
It would sound like to me.
that's what that sounded like to me. He didn't want Bryce Young. He didn't want a lot of these picks we made. They say he was against trading up for DJ Johnson. They say he was
Bingo.
also against taking Chandler Zavala and Mango. He didn't
And
want none of
Miles
these
Sanders.
picks.
And Miles Sanders.
Thank you.
They said, oh,
Thank
that's
you.
right too. They said he didn't want Miles Sanders as well. That was Staley guy.
Because you don't pay no fucking running back that money when you could get one in the damn draft.
Bingo. You know who would know that?
You could have got.
Somebody who's been in a successful organization or two, and somebody who was a former player who knows football. Okay.
Dude, we could have got Zach Charbonnet. That
Mini
motherfucker
rant.
Yeah.
in Seattle now.
That was a good back. Yeah.
Mini rant right now. You can do all the analytics that you fucking want. Give me somebody who knows football.
Thank God they didn't hire that fucking Hallaby nigga. Because I saw that nigga is analytics. I'm tired of that.
Give me somebody who
that
can
shit
look.
Not working.
Yeah, like Dan Morgan could look at you and say if you're a football player, if you got that dog in you or not. Like I said, that roster gonna be looking completely different come training camp, come off season shits, OTAs.
Hey, so question.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear Brian Burns saying he liked this pickup?
No,
I haven't heard Brian Burns say anything. What did he say? You heard something?
No, I ain't heard nothing. I was just throwing it out there. It's just saying that Louisville and a lot of people, Shaq Thompson, everybody like. Of course, I know Shaq don't like it,
but Shaq gone anyway.
Yeah, I don't expect a guy like Shaq to be back, but also the number one thing is if Tepper relinquished power to Dan Morgan, who was a fan favorite, Tepper wants to rebuild his image. He wants to get back on the good side of the Panther fans. What better way to do it than give a lifelong Panther fan a chance to be the GM? The storyline is incredible. And on top of that, you allow him to make the pick of the head coach because we know Canales is his pick. That's his guy. That's one of his best friends. There's pictures and documentation from the times that they worked from in Seattle. That was definitely the guy that Dan Morgan wanted. There's no choice. I ain't got no doubt in my mind that he wanted this guy undoubtedly.
Yeah. Yeah, when they had picked Dan Morgan, I knew that Canales was gonna be the pick because they've been working together since Seattle.
Yeah.
They said Canales been messing with Pete Carroll since Ohio, USC. So I don't know if he was calling plays or not, but
no. So this is the first year he ever called plays.
Okay.
But you gotta think he's no spring chicken, so he's not one of these young up and coming coordinators per se. I mean, this is his first time calling plays, but he's 42.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you want Dave Canales calling plays as the head coach as well?
No.
Okay. I like to hear that. That's something that I'm adamant against. I don't want my head coach calling plays. And people say, "Oh well, look at the best that do it." The best that do it also have great quarterbacks or good to great quarterbacks.
And you can have anomalies. Like everybody don't have to be a play caller. Like that's cool. I don't want my head coach to call plays. It is rare that it works.
That's I just need somebody like John Harbaugh to manage the fucking game. That's the type of coach I need, man. He don't call plays. He ain't no offense coordinator. He ain't no defense coordinator. He just managed the game. That's
he came up. He came up as a special teams coordinator. John Harbaugh.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Special teams.
Yeah. But I knew the writing was on the wall. But Brian Burns, I'm on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm not on a scale of 1 to 10, but I'm like 75% sure Brian Burns getting re-signed with Suleiman, the dude that was over contracts in that front office, being fired by Dan Morgan.
Yeah, he gonna get signed. They definitely signed Brian Burns now because when I had a feeling that Suleiman was gonna get fired because he came from Pittsburgh as this highly regarded capologist nigga, and he ain't do nothing but fuck everything up for us. So once I seen they fired him, I said, "Oh, they mean business. They really trying to fix some shit up." or maybe they trying to salvage some money. Because I looked at the cap, we gonna fuck around and have some money. You know, a couple people that gonna take some pay cuts. We'll fuck around and find a way to get some money. But how y'all feel about that guy that they're trying to bring in from the Chiefs, Tillis? He's the analytics capologist guy too, ain't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we'll
Yes,
have
sir.
we'll have pro scout slash GM, which that's what you want to have as your GM, a fucking scout, damn near. And then you have somebody else that handle the money. That's what you need to have. So
Yeah, and they're
it won't
taking the
be too
same
much
frame
power.
mold of everything, of
Exactly.
splitting up everything with Shanahan and the way how
Right.
they did stuff over there. Look, let one guy focus totally on this. That way you don't fuck something else up. So you
Yep.
put all your energy into what needs to be. Now, before I get started on this right here, Omar and Mike, y'all both coming in. How do y'all feel about Canalves coming in, man?
I think them niggas. All right, so at first I was like, I don't know. So then I had to do some research. And Canal specializes in working with short ass quarterbacks. That's his specialty. Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield. If you ain't 6'2", 6'3", he can get the job done. Then I saw the difference in the numbers of Baker's, Geno Smith, Russell Wilson's best year. And I said, I'm not going to be happy, but I'll be optimistic. Because none of them boys, none of those three, had less than a, what was it, 68 uh, 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 completion percentage. I think the highest was 69. And we haven't seen those numbers, to be honest, ever. We have never seen a quarterback come in and put up 68, 69 completion percentage. And those was the only three quarterbacks that he worked with. So I'm trying to be optimistic and say maybe he is the right formula for the offense. I will feel much better about this hire if Evero was to stay. If Evero leaves, I'm going to feel negative no matter what happens.
I hear you, Mike.
I think that's a
Um,
contingency. I literally think that's a contingency. Like, hey, you got this job, you running the offense, Evero running the defense.
Yeah. If he's not being the head coach, Everall's not going
I mean, Evero has not been hired yet. So there's still room to be optimistic. He's had multiple interviews with us in Atlanta, but he hasn't had any other interviews any other places.
Well, I've been reading reports on Atlanta. Atlanta, they zeroed in on Bill Belichick, but Atlanta about to fuck themselves because Bill Belichick don't want to report to Rich McKay because apparently Rich McKay got his hands still involved in a lot of stuff with the whole Arthur Blank situation. Arthur Blank being owner. Apparently he relies on Rich McKay a lot for like consulting and stuff, and
nowhere.
Bill
Yeah.
Belichick has no parts of Rich McKay.
Yeah, because he see Rich McKay is terrible. That's why. Rich McKay is fucking horrible, man. He sucks
Atlanta
that
is about to
franchise
fuck
up.
themselves.
Yeah.
Well, look, they could do it with the longest dildo in the shop because I don't give a fuck about a dirty bird getting shit. I don't
Bingo.
want to see them niggas to do a damn thing. I don't look. I'm a Carolina fan for real. I hate every last one of these teams that's in our division. I wouldn't give them a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Fuck them.
Well, I mean, I'm optimistic about the hire. Um, a few good things I can say is that I appreciate that we went and got an offensive head coach. For one, that way we won't get plucked from like you do with any defensive head coaches. At least if he turns out to be the guy, then we know he's going to stay here. Um, instead of like what the Texans are going with Slowett being interviewed and only being a 1 year coordinator. That's what happens when you have a defensive head coach and got a good offensive coordinator. They they get offered head coach jobs. So I'm glad we're not in that type of turmoil. Um, I think Tepper needs to give him time to assess the team, um, and bring in some talent. And all we can do is be optimistic at this point.
Yes,
That's
sir. Yes,
facts.
sir.
That's facts.
Shout
So,
out to everybody in the chat. I want everybody who's watching this to do us that favor and like the video. Look, we got a new head coach of Carolina. Mike, talk to me, man. Go ahead and get it off your chest.
yo, first of all, shout outs to Aries. I see you in the chat. You said that shit about Dan Morgan, and that shit came true. Uh, so
Yeah,
with
I heard
this
some
being
shit.
the
I heard some shit. I heard some shit real fast. I heard some shit
Uh,
say "fuck you" with a dildo and all this other shit.
Wolf,
So
this is
fuck
not
you
that.
too.
This is not that type of
Fuck
party,
you
Wolf.
too. I know, but I'm just saying. I came here respectfully. Fuck you too with a dildo and all that shit. I don't give a fuck.
hey, what?
I don't give a fuck. I don't
That's
give
how
a
you feel
fuck.
today.
I don't give a
No,
fuck.
no,
Fuck
he
it. I was
look.
gonna come
If
in here on some peace shit.
Lord,
I was gonna come here on some peace shit. Cause look, look. I'm a real. Look, I got y'all on TV. I'm a real
I'm at
motherfucker. I
down.
got you on TV. All right.
Hey, look,
But if it's
I
gonna be
appreciate it,
dildo
but
shit, fuck everybody too.
hey,
Fuck
yo, hey, Wolf,
everybody too. I
hey,
don't give
Wolf,
a
I
fuck.
respect
Y'all
you.
can kick me off the motherfucking show. I don't give a fuck. Fuck niggas
Well,
too.
the birds
Look,
has
you
just came
supposed to
out.
feel that
Here
way.
we go.
I
You
know. That's what I'm
supposed to
saying.
feel
But
that
anyway,
way, dog.
congratulations, Dave Canales and everybody. Congratulations. I'm going to get off. But as soon as I hear dirty birds or dildos and everything, I'm in this motherfucker like Tupac on Biggie ass. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking pictures with Faith Evans and every fucking body in this motherfucker. That's the fuck I'm
No,
doing. It's your boy,
no need to
Wolf
be, no
Solidify.
need to be niggerish. No need to be niggerish. No need.
Congratulations. Congratulations, man.
We
Congratulations,
appreciate you.
everybody.
We
All right now.
appreciate it.
All right now. Let me get
All
my
right,
last
fly,
words. Let me
fly
get
your
my
ass
last
on.
words.
Fly your
Let
ass
me get
on.
my last words. Let me get my last
Fly
words.
your ass on.
Fuck David Tepper. Fuck Dave Canales. And fuck Bryce Young, too.
Yeah, we gonna get this nigga up out of here today. He's showing his black ass today.
Yo, so
Anyhow,
what I want to say,
mm-hmm.
what do y'all think is going to happen in free agency? You think Dan Morgan going to follow Canals and be like, because he might be like, yo, we need a true number one receiver. And there's, to me, the only receiver on the block that you can say is a possible good option is Mike Evans. He's the only one that would make sense, especially if you can get him for an aging contract. Besides that, I don't see anything positive in the free agency when it comes to wide receivers. Let me know if you disagree.
Oh, I
Mike,
don't disagree at all.
Mike, I agree because when I found out that he was going to be a free agent, I was pounding the table, and what I'm saying on the panel, and motherfuckers like, hell no, fuck that, da 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 da. I'm like, bro, he is a Pro Bowler. He's a Hall of Famer. Why wouldn't you want to get that for Bryce? But then people be pocket checking like, oh, like they're the ones coming out of the pocket to pay him or something. When you ain't
Uh,
anybody ain't touching your account.
No,
But I I,
are you
I
talking about
wanted
Mike?
Mike
You
Evans.
talking
Yeah,
about
I was
Mike
talking about.
Evans?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
talking
if
about
you
Mike
get Mike
Evans.
Evans, bro, you got to take him. Oh, you got to get him.
So,
If he
so
can take
but
Mike Evans, you got
He
to get
gonna
him.
go to a place like
but
fucking Kansas City or
I,
some
I
shit,
I I
man.
call I call a lot of hell for that. But he's gonna go to a contender. He's not coming here, so you can
Hell yeah,
close
he
that
gonna
Yeah,
go
door
he's
on
to
going
a
to
that
go to a
shit.
Kansas City or
contender.
something.
Well, look, this is
Hey,
the
put
I
Kim,
get rid of your
Kim.
ass too. Don't you come here. Don't come here with this shit today. Get you the fuck up out of here. I knew it.
I feel like
These
I feel like I
birds.
feel like I feel like once we see what he does in free agency, once we see what he does in the draft, then I can see like where I can really like check the temperature on Tepper and if he's really putting his hands out the pot, like then I can see that we really going in a good direction. I think we're going in a good direction right now with the Canellis hire, with Morgan hire. I feel like we on the right path right now, and we just gotta stay on this path. Let the people work. Let the people do their things, bro. What they paying for, what you paying them millions of dollars for, let them work, and you can get a winning franchise in the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, we gotta get rid of the quarterback, of course. He got 1 year. He has 1 year. The coach has 3 years. He's not gonna fire this coach in 10 games. He won't do that, bro. I can guarantee you that, though.
Can I ask you a
Did
question,
you
Q?
just guarantee? Did you just guarantee some shit that you just saw happen?
Yes, I can guarantee that he's not gonna fire me. He's not. Well, 3 years is a pretty long time, but 2 years he's not gonna fire me 2 seasons.
Yo,
Let me ask
son,
you.
you just
Let me
saw
ask you a
him do
question.
this.
Go ahead, bro.
Q. After looking at Canales, who you think he would bring in as an OC?
I
It
have no
doesn't
idea
matter.
what direction they're looking at right now. I have no idea, Doc.
It it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Canellis
Uh,
is gonna call the plays
I,
anyways.
Al,
So
Al, it,
he
Al,
just
it
needs a
does.
good assistant.
No. Al, it does matter. The system is an OC. He can't do everything. See, that's the problem. Some coaches come in and they try to do everything and they wear themselves out. So the best way is to get a predecessor underneath him who knows his system that he can help. So that way he can flow to each and every room. So make sure everybody's on the same path. So yes, it does matter that he gets an OC in here. Don't
Yeah,
say
but that's
that.
what I'm saying. No, but I'm not saying
So
I'm not
what?
talking about just on Sunday. I'm talking about through the whole week. He just needs somebody to help him start a game plan. Scout the defenses or whatever they got to do.
That
I mean,
that
I'm
yeah,
not too
that's
much in depth with all that stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like that's where I would think that that would be at
I mean,
with an OC.
there's several non-play calling OCs. You know what I mean?
right, right.
There's
There's
several of those.
the
So
guy that
he
just went
can
to
he
the
can give them
Titans
their job. Hmm.
wasn't he didn't call no plays from
It's a
Cincinnati. He
bunch of
called
them.
zero plays, but you can't put it all on his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? He has to get a staff in here, an OC, or if you want to call him assistant. I don't want to degrade that. I don't want to degrade the title by calling it assistant, but so I would say OC that can come in here and help
He's an
him.
OC.
You know what I'm saying? In other words, because for instance, like if he needs to be in the wide receiver room for this amount of time, well, the OC could be over here in the quarterback room or the running back room. You need to have different branches that stem from you.
Hey, you know what? That's what's up too because he was a wide receiver coach also.
Yeah, and he was a
You know
wide
what I
receiver
mean?
too. He was a wide receiver from 1993 to 2003. So
Yeah.
he
Uh,
knows the wide receivers.
so
Just to piss off
and
the Atlanta
we
Falcon
need to.
fans, y'all fucked up. Yeah, y'all fucked up.
What happened? They got their head coach, or did they sign somebody or
Yeah.
something, or they got their head coach,
I,
or
Nah, bro.
not yet?
Look, man. They my fans, man. They my fans. When I come in the building, I talk my shit. They come and they get autographs and need T-shirts and shit.
I mean, damn, how long does it take to make a decision? What the fuck going on?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Look,
sir.
nah. Uh, get
MDJ,
your name
what's
and building
going
shirt.
on, brother?
Them dodo birds
Yo, what's
asleep.
good with everybody? What's good? What's
Y-
good?
y'all sit tight. Y'all sit tight. Y'all sit tight. MDJ, what's going on?
Hey, what's good with y'all, man? I was just gonna say, man, I don't know. I don't think it could be any worse than what we just had. But I'm like popping. I want to see who he bring in as far as his offensive coordinator and if he gonna call the plays. Because I think they hire him to call the plays because I mean that's pretty much his bread and butter. We don't know if he can manage the team or not. So I think he gonna call the plays. I just want to see who he bring in and if he can bring some better talent to the roster.
Who would you want to see bring to the roster? Who is on the offensive side? Who you want to see?
You want coach? You talking about coaching or
I
you
just say
talking
we need some
about
run.
players?
Player wise. Who's give me some because everybody got a different opinion. People say we need wide receivers. Everybody knows we need tight ends. Some people feel like we don't need a running back. Some feel the opposite. I want to know who my man want to see in the door.
I'll tell you straight up. We need better old linemen, bro. Our old linemen, they're not good for nothing. Honestly, we need better
I
old
like
linemen.
you. Keep talking that shit. Keep going.
Well, be honest with you, we need everything. It ain't just one thing we need. We need everything to make this a full course meal. And that's the one thing I'm glad about him being young because I don't think he's stubborn in his ways that he can't adapt or like this first year. I hope nobody be hard on this guy because we already know what this season's going to be. This season's going to be a wash. But give him time to assess the team and to get the players in here that he needs to run his scheme.
And
And
I
that's
think
what
also,
I think Bryce Young is to be the reason why he's gonna get multiple years to get this shit right. Because I think Dave Temple either he's gonna succeed with Bryce or Dave Temple is gonna see that Bryce is not it and he's gonna finally own up and be like, I fucked up.
Draft some competition for Bryce.
and y'all, and but the good news is about this though, with the Dave hiring is, did Dan and Dave work together before though?
Yeah, they
yeah,
did.
in the 1992 Olympics, Dan and Dave, the 1992 Olympics. My bad, bro.
My
That
nigga
was
a
that's an old school
comedian
one.
over
Niggas don't even know what that is.
Lord have mercy.
So I guess that's the good news is they've worked together before. So I guess they could, So I guess that's good because this is
He
a
said,
very
Lord have
good
mercy.
sign that we're getting people that work together well with each other, and that was important too. So
Nah, I
So
like
What you
that.
think,
That's what I'm
Q?
saying. I like that they have a relationship, a working relationship already, and they know
mm-hmm.
what they want to do, and they know what they want to do, so they got a vision. They have a
yeah,
vision. They have a vision right now, and they just Tepper, man, just stay away from the team, man. Go to fucking
please,
Pennsylvania. Go lay down in
Yo,
Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Where the fuck you're from? Go lay down and just chill, bro.
hey, hold on one
It's a
second.
good
Hey, yo,
hire, you guys.
Aries.
You,
Hey,
you.
yo,
This is a good
Aries, you
hire.
said 7 years. Aries, you said 7 years in Seattle. Can you look up what years that was? I want to check out the roster and how it was built. I appreciate it.
Go
AQ.
ahead, Andrew.
Go ahead.
Tell us how
Yeah.
you feel, Bubba.
Well, I think it's a good hire considering what was out there. I mean, I was afraid we were going to end up with another college coach. This guy he's nothing new in the NFL. He worked for Pete Carroll for over 10 years. Okay, now as far as and that means he was involved in the draft picks. How did Tampa Bay do in the draft? They did pretty damn good. They got Kalijah Cansey, Trey Palmer, and Yaya Diaby. Those three guys are all starting. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Hmm.
I think that it's going to help Dan Morgan when it's draft time. As far as calling plays, in my opinion, that Tampa team who was picked last in the division went in Detroit in that building and had the ball in their hands to try to tie it up in the fourth quarter against Jared Goff, who had an outstanding game, not one pick, threw the ball wherever he wanted. I'm telling you, this might be a steal for the Panthers. And
Oh,
another
I
thing,
agree.
Andrew,
I agree. I agree.
Andrew, you right
and
about that.
Wolf,
You right about
I
that.
think Wolf needs to take it. I think Wolf needs to chill a little bit because I've been watching your podcast long enough. I've heard Wolf complain there weren't enough Hispanics hired in the league. Well, Dave
Uh
Canales
Yep.
is
oh.
Hispanic.
Yep.
oh,
He the only
Let's
one.
go.
He the only Mexican head coach in the league right now. Taco
Yeah,
Tuesdays are lit now.
wow,
yeah,
Not Taco
and
Tuesday.
and as far listen, Kurt Warner. If you want to know about Dave Canales, Kurt Warner had put out a video today on Dave Canales' offense and what he brought to that team. Go watch it. You're going to see him scheme
I
up
watched it.
against
I watched
Detroit.
it, Andrew.
Yeah, you can see how he schemed up against that Detroit team, and they damn near won. They could have won that game. They missed that field goal. They would have took the 7 points rather than trying going for two, and it wouldn't have been as difficult to try to come back. So I'm not saying that he's not. Jim Harbaugh. He's not Belichick, but they could have done a lot worse in this pick, you guys. And here's one more thing. I'll tell you who the offensive coordinator is going to be. He's a receiver coach for Tampa. His name is Dave Idzik, or Brad Idzik. I'm telling you, they work together in Seattle as well. Idzik was one of his best buddies. I think they're going to bring him over to be the offensive coordinator.
I wouldn't be
So
mad at that.
yeah,
Breaking news.
I
so
I I, I feel I feel like this is the new era of the Carolina Panthers, and that's about as optimistic I can be. But if we stay
Keep
patient and let this
telling you.
and let him do what he do, if Tepper stays the fuck out of the game,
This nigga stop mid sentence. Lord have mercy. Look, Andrew, if you had to be as Jero Evero today, how is you
Yes, sir.
feeling seeing this hire?
I wouldn't be mad. Well, I'm
You know
not
why it
Andrew, but
wouldn't
I'm
bother
Al.
me,
But I
Q?
wouldn't be. I
Because
wouldn't be mad because
I
I
think
know I'm gonna get a
Gyro.
job next year.
Oh Al, oh Al, oh Al. Go ahead, Andrew.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Andrew.
I think. Be honest with you, I think Gyro might have been offered the job and turned it down. I think he has something different in
Oh,
mind. I think he wants to finish out his time with Carolina, and I think he wants to move on. He's the type that strikes me to where he's the type of guy that strikes me. What I know about him, he don't want to work for this owner. He knows it was a mistake now, but he's not going to walk away. Okay, he's going to stick it out, get through his contract. Then I think he'll move on. So I don't know that for a fact that he was offered a job. I wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me if he was and turned it down and just didn't want it to be known. Which would be the right thing to do because whoever the new coach is, you don't want him to come in thinking that a coach that coaches under him was the original pick. So you're not going to say anything. So I'm just saying that I think I've heard a Gyro speak and Dave Canales speak well of a Gyro Evero in the past. He highly spoke, so I think they know each other. I don't know that for a fact, but the way I've heard Canales talk about a Gyro Evero even before
mm,
today, it was all positive. So they
okay.
might have a relationship already. And,
Hey,
and I think
logic.
I think what this does is
Yes,
that
sir.
it's showing the fan base that Dan Morgan is going to be calling the shots because
But
that's his pick.
Facts.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was
this is definitely his pick.
that was
Logic. Talk to me for a second, man. How do you feel about whatever the fuck his name is?
Canales. Canales. Like
Canales.
Canales.
Canelo. Like Canelo, but with an S.
Canelo. Again, I think it's. I'm in the middle, man. I'm not gonna shake my titties yet, man. I'm not gonna shake 'em. The bra is off, the shirt is up, but the titties ain't out. Okay, so we just gonna hold on the titty
Good.
business completely. I think it. Hey, if he goes in and he can pick some guys, I think he needs to get a quarterback to go against Bryce. I think he needs some competition and maybe a replacement. Um, but if he goes in and gets the draft and he goes and gets those guys, because Andrew's right, they got some key assets on that team uh, for Tampa that you can't overlook. So if we can go in and fix some stuff on our team, it's like I said, next year gonna be a wash. But if we can make at least start looking like a dang team, hey, I'll be satisfied, man. I feel like we had the guy of the future for the Carolina Panthers, but that remains to be seen. Again, no titty shaking as of right now.
So Al, holla at me for a
Yo,
Yeah.
second, man. On a scale of 1 to 10, if you had to take what you saw today from this head coaching hiring, what does that tell you about Tepper and this organization?
it's giving me like a strong 5 or 4, like that he's on his way to moving and letting the people work. That's it. That's it. Like a strong 5 to 4 that he's trying to move away and actually let the people do their jobs instead of letting his wife try to fucking bed talk him into picking quarterbacks, picking this player, picking that player. Oh, this guy's the coach's wife wants Chuba Hubbard. That's what I feel like.
hmm Moving away from that, right?
Yeah, we're moving away from it. Yes.
Okay,
Well, I mean,
Mike.
if you say we're moving away from it, yes, I'll give it like a
talk to
7.
him.
Then I'll give it like a 7. Then if we're moving away from it, but yeah, all right.
Okay. So, Mike, how much faith do you have in David Tepper allowing Dan Morgan to bring another quarterback? Because you heard Logic. Logic say he would like to see another quarterback come in here and push Bryce. How much faith do you have in him actually letting that go through?
If we talking about him drafting a quarterback like in the fourth or fifth round, I think Tepper will let it slide. But if you're talking about trying to draft one in the second round or trying to sign one for free agency, you can hang that shit up, dog. Don't even consider it.
But why? Oh, so why
Like,
you say that? Elaborate for some people who don't know.
because that's his baby boy. You know what I mean? He was on Maury last week. He is the father. He's not gonna let Bryce. He ain't gonna let Bryce because that was his pick.
I agree
And
with you.
Dave Tepper already knows that he fucked up quite a bit. But right now, the hardest thing to do is convince a stubborn motherfucker that they wrong.
Well, that's why he left him
Because
out there so long, Mike, during the regular season. He left him out there just to try to prove a point, and it didn't help Bryce at all.
it
You know,
did, Andrew. Because especially when Andy Dalton goes in there and throw for almost 400 yards in the same offense, Andrew, is it right then. Taylor should have been like, hold on now. Maybe this
So
nigga need to develop or something. But
yeah.
so
he didn't even
Pop.
consider it.
So
Yes, sir.
Pop.
Yes, sir.
How bought in do you think our new head coach is in on Bryce Young? Or how
Um,
bought in should he be?
that's hard to say. That's hard to say because I wish I was a fly on the wall when he had the interview and they talked to him about Bryce. Um, that's hard to say. The problem is, Q Baker just screwed Bryce. He really did.
You said Baker?
Baker screwed
Okay.
Bryce because Baker came out here and balled out under a new system with a 1 year starting offensive coordinator, and now Bryce has him as his head coach. Bryce has to come out here and at least do half of what Baker did, and if Bryce doesn't do that,
Mm.
oh my God! Like if
Well,
you
Yeah,
think
there's no
this
more
year was,
excuses.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
think this year was hard on Bryce as far as the fandom, and he doesn't show any type of upside, it's gonna be
mm.
10 times worse this year. All the people
Oh,
that go ahead.
let's play devil's advocate then.
Yes,
So
sir.
say in a perfect world, you ask Bryce, you simplify it for him and ask him to do less. Because I believe that's what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did to Baker. They simplified it. Let's do less. Let's come out here. Let's run the ball. Let's only ask you to do certain things. Can Bryce Young fulfill that role with this new head coach?
Let me go.
Okay, well, hold on,
Okay.
real quick, Mike. I'm gonna be real quick. The first thing Bryce has to do is shut the fuck up. You can't sit here and tell a coach that you don't want to wear a wristband. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that.
Back.
I want to play like this, that, and other. You just got here. You have no credibility,
Yep.
especially after what you've shown this year. Now, out of 17 games, like everybody has said, and Andrew had brought it up recently last time he was on here, when have you played better? You haven't gotten better. So Bryce, first off, has to be quiet before he gets out here faster than he got here. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, in the first question, Canales is probably like, you ever seen a motherfucker that just thrive from challenges?
Mm.
You just thrive from challenges.
You saying he built like that?
I think Canales is looking at Bryce. He said, I fits Geno, I fits Baker. When I left Russell Wilson, he start collapsing. I could make a champion out of anybody.
Ooh.
Because let's be real,
God
when
damn.
Russell Wilson stopped going to the playoffs when Canales left. Geno
Back.
Smith
That's a
went
fact.
to the playoffs. I mean, not when
Damn.
Canales left, but they got rid of Russell Wilson because he became a diva. Soon as Russell Wilson went out the door, Canales had Geno going to the playoffs. And then he leaves Geno and he goes to Tampa and he gets Baker in the playoffs. So he might be one of those guys who's like, I don't care who he is, I can coach him up.
Not Mike. Not only that, in the history of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, there's only one quarterback who's thrown for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in a playoff game, and it happened twice with Baker this year.
Facts.
He did it twice, not once. He did
Mm.
it twice.
Like
Well,
Baker Mayfield looked like he was
what's
wearing
the
the
common
Oakland.
what's the common denominator here? They were all coached by Canales.
Mm.
So
Andrew,
yeah.
you making it sound like we might have ourselves a gym
You
in
might
this
have found a
head
diamond in the
coach.
rough. I'm not gonna make a wage on that. I don't know. But what I'm saying is he's very successful, and he turned that Tampa offense into something special this year. I watched every game, just like I did. I watch all the games from the and I was really impressed. And then when I watched that breakdown this morning, Kurt Warner breaking down Canales, I was convinced the only reason Tampa was in that game against Detroit was because of Dave Canales, the way he schemed up that offense against that Detroit team. That Detroit team is a juggernaut this year. They really are. They're that good. And if you let them get away from you, they're going to go and they're going to be gone. And he kept them in that game. So I'm optimistic. I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm just saying that for what was left out there, they got the best probably they were going to get with what was left out there.
And he gave Baker his swagger back because what he did to Philly, what Baker Mayfield did to Philly was embarrassing, man.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
He was looking like he was wearing an Oklahoma Sooner jersey.
Well, not only that, Mike, for Tampa to get to that playoff, they won 6 of their last seven games down the stretch where they had to win. At one time they were 3-7, and then they came out and won 6 of the next 7 games against some good teams. So it wasn't an accident that Tampa had the year they had. Good coaching can do that. I've always said that good coaching can get you a lot more victories than you think you're going to get. And so I'm thinking I'm kind of optimistic about it. He's new. That's why I can't really say this is the guy. I don't know. But I'm saying is for what was left out there, this probably was a good pick. And kudos to Dan Morgan for knowing that.
And kudos for Dan Morgan and taking charge. Because the moment Dan Morgan was in the office, we got a coach. This was Dan Morgan 100%.
Now hold on, Mike. Now it might be too. Are we prematurely jumping on the Dan Morgan train? Now hold on. Look, I like it, but I ain't gonna get too excited.
The most, as much as Dave Tepper was obsessed with getting Ben Johnson, and the moment Dan Morgan walked in that office, it said, "This is my coach." Dave Tepper was talking about Ben Johnson during the season.
Yeah.
During the season. And all of a sudden, Dan Morgan says, I want him. And Tepper respected him enough to stay out the way and let Dan Morgan get his coach. That's rare.
One thing I do want to see from Canales is can he bring a run game here? Because Tampa wasn't that great in the run game. I will say that.
They weren't halfway through the year.
That's facts.
Halfway through the year, though, they really turned it up. They were running the ball well. They ran the ball good in Detroit too. Their running game turned around. It took about maybe 7-8 games, and then all of a sudden that run game took off. But basically, that Rashad White, that was it. He was the guy they had. And they had what's the other guy's name I'm thinking of? He was with Cleveland for a while. Begins with an E, his last name. I can't think of his name. Edmonds. They had Chase Edmonds. So I think that he can. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a running back in the draft somewhere.
I think he has to, Andrew.
Yeah, he has
to because with the noodle arm of Bryce Young, you're going to have to rely on that backfield. That's in order to open up that play action, which he's good at calling. But we're definitely gonna have to get a good running back out the draft, whether it's a power back, scat back, wherever y'all want to call them. we need somebody. We can
power back only, sir. Power back only, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And to Pop's point earlier, Bryce Young's seat just got hot as fuck.
Yes, it did.
It's got Crisco sitting on it right now.
This guy won't play. He won't play if he don't think Bryce Young's it. He's going to put someone else in there.
Yeah, but ain't nobody else but Andy to go in there.
Listen, I live out here in California, and he was a high school coach in Carson, California. Let me tell you something about those Carson kids. They're hard as hell. If you can coach a Carson high school football team, I'm not worried about him handling that locker room.
They say he a tough motherfucker now. That's what they say.
He don't come across that way. He's kind of soft spoken. I mean, he's real optimistic. Let's put it that way. He's always looking at the glass half full, rather than half empty. So,
But those Buccaneer guys love him, Andrew. They say that he don't take no shit. From what the readings that I have been seeing in the articles and stuff like that, they say he don't take no shit, and they love him over there.
Well, then who else is like that?
White was crying, bro.
It reminds me of someone else. That's the way Pete Carroll is.
Pete
Carroll's the same way.
Yeah, he's a player's coach, man. Them guys love him.
Yep.
They said Rashad White was crying, bro, that he left.
Rashad White?
The running back.
Yeah, running back.
Oh, have mercy. Go ahead, Logic.
I just hope he can fix, Canales can fix because I know y'all saw it. The last couple games of the season, Bryce was already playing bad, but the last couple games of the season, he got like progressively worse. And one problem is you pick up these bad tendencies a lot of times, especially when you're not playing good. I'm just hoping that Canales is able to try to fix those things because there's a lot of things that Bryce kept doing each game, and it was just like he was losing himself. He was losing any composure that he might have had was gone.
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this, Logic. Canales, like you say, he got his work cut out for him. But the number one thing is if he turns Bryce Young around and Frank Wright struggled the way he did, oh my God, Frank Wright and them Avengers will never be able to live this down. I hate to say it.
Yeah, that Avenger status gonna have to change, brother. You can't call yourself that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's gonna look the same way with Baker. I had Baker in the building. McAdoo couldn't do nothing with him. But I got him over here in Tampa, and he got us in the postseason. Now, I ain't gonna speak on what he.
I told you what the new coaching staff gonna be called. The Transformers.
What's that?
It better be worth something. Hey, Logic.
Yes,
now the crazy thing is when you take your time, you look at direction, you look at where this thing is heading, and you say to myself, if we click on it, what if this thing is a turnaround? Because from what I'm hearing, Jim Caldwell, which is our senior advisor, who was doing nothing but walking around and smiling during the season, is actually in with Tepper, advising him on stuff he needs to be doing now. So what if this thing actually starts going in the right direction? Then what happens?
Well, that's the thing. If that's the case, then somebody along the way knew this was going to happen and knew this year. We maybe not knew it in the beginning, but they knew that this was a wash. Some people were going to get fired, but the right people were going to get left in this building in order for things to start going in the right direction. But we had to lose a year in order for that to happen.
Oh my God! So they sacrificed a year while they tried to maintain it. Because remember when we were saying last year this was a rebuild, people would say, no, it's not a rebuild, it's not a retool, no. Everybody get puckered up. Nobody wanted to admit that it was going to be a rebuild, but now you're looking at it hindsight. We were clearly in the middle of a rebuild last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, have mercy.
Morgan Catamo says, I don't think we will get a true evaluation of Canales with Bryce Young as his QB. I want him to handpick his QB. And Morgan, I agree, but unfortunately, Canales has signed his name right beside Bryce, and he agreed somewhere that he would take on the job and try to see what he can do with Bryce. I don't think he's going to give Bryce 2 years to do it because a lot of people saying, "Oh, we're married to Bryce 3 to 4 years." I don't believe so. I don't think Tepper has the patience, and I don't think that they're going to go get this young guy and force him to sit here and deal with somebody who's not capable of running his offense for 3 more years. It's not going to work.
That's my problem with that, though, Poppin. Let's say, for instance, we come out this year, we don't win, but maybe 5, 6 games. It's an improvement from this year, but it still ain't great. But the expectations was not to win 10, 11 games. No way. That's not realistic right now. Unless we just hit it hard like Houston did or something. But if any type of positive feedback we get for Bryce, I don't want that to be the long run. You know, it might be a 100, 200, 300 yards more than what he had. But I just don't want it to turn into, hey, we had 2 years of Bryce. He looked better than he did last year. Let's go ahead and let's make that contract because we think we can make it work with him. I just hope that ain't the case that happens, man. Because I ain't not him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're trending in the right direction. I really do. But like I said, we're gonna have to be once again. The key word is be patient because this is not an easy fix. I mean, they pretty much Canales they just threw a whole bunch of Rubik's cubes at him and told him, "Hey, put it together." It's gonna take
Well,
time, man.
he probably walk into that interview like he missed to fix it. So that so I hope the hell he understand what the fuck he just signed up for. I
But
hope
I
that.
Q,
I
mean,
hope
shit.
so.
But
I mean, he not
every
like he had another
every
head
coach
coach in
feels
the
like they
offense.
missed to fix it. That's every head coach.
Frank Wright was Mr. Fix It too till his stuttering ass got up out of here.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
well,
Yes,
Frank
sir.
Wright couldn't hear or see, so you need to fix them
Uh-huh.
issues first.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what Frank said.
Yeah. The only thing I think you can say for Canales is that his boy is Dan. Regardless of what we say, his boy is Dan. They ain't
That's a
gonna look
fact.
out
Mm-hmm.
for him as much as he probably can.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
big and that's what we wanted. We wanted a GM and a
Yeah.
head coach who can coincide and do their thing, and we
I'm
got
more
it
Yep.
now.
worried. I'm more worried about a Zero Evero and how he's going to react. Is he going to get upset? Is he going to leave? Because we know he's in for a contract this year, but will he fulfill that contract on his team?
Okay.
Mm.
This is what I really feel on that. I would feel that honestly, uh, see, Alvaro he wants the head coaching job. You know what I mean? And we all know how NFL is when it's hesitant to hire off defensive minded coach, especially a black one. Um, but I feel that he will fulfill his contract. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think one more year is he's going to just build up his resume because as surprising as it was, Alvaro didn't get a lot of coaching attention from other teams, even though there was 7 to 9 teams that needed coaches.
That's true.
He had Atlanta and he had us,
But
and
you
that
know
was
why?
it.
Mm-hmm.
You know why, Mike? Right?
Talk to me.
Because what everybody want right now, offense.
Yeah,
Yep.
All the offensive type, all the offensive type of head coaches or OCs. That's what's popular now. Everybody's running away from defensive coaches and going to offensive coaches now. It's the new thing. That's why Tepper has been running behind Ben Johnson's skirt for the longest. Offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a passing league right now. I mean, the way how everything's going. But I'm under the impression, even though it's a passing league, you better build your damn defense, and you better get out here and have a run game also as well to incorporate with that passing game you're supposed to have.
Q,
I
why you
want to
put
be
that
well
bullshit on the
rounded.
screen? Q, why
You
you put
talking
that
about,
bullshit
buddy?
on the screen?
Oh, it's because them guys love Bryce Young unapologetically, and so I just like to sit down and sometimes and look at some of the shit before I move on to the next one. It's
Okay,
all good.
Michael. Let's talk, Michael.
Uh
Let me
oh.
ask you a question. What besides Dante Foreman did we lose this past last season that made our team worse? Because we lost DJ Moore. Yes. We lost Dante Foreman. Yes. But the O line was the exact fucking same. And we lost more games this year than we lost the year before. The problem wasn't just Bryce Young, but we're not about to act like this man throwing 100.5 yards a game equal a damn thing in production. Now, if the man was putting up 250 plus a game, if he had at least 19 touchdowns, but maybe 13 interceptions, I can see somebody being optimistic. But the man barely touched 200 yards in any fucking game. You know how
Minus that
bad
one
you gotta
game.
be. You know how bad you gotta be not to throw for at least 200 fucking yards.
But Mike,
Just two.
I'm gonna stop you right there because everybody always talk about these weapons that he didn't have, and like I said, with another quarterback in week 3, These same weapons. I saw Thielen go for 140 yards. I saw all these guys show up. Mango, there was a Mango site in week 3, and he had
It
good
was.
yardage. My point
Man,
is that
Andy
they say
Dalton.
that there's no weapons, but every other week, minus that week 3, those weapons they were down and they were focusing and they were catching the ball and they were getting separation. Andy Dalton threw them open.
Facts.
I
And
got a question
that's
for
why.
Andrew.
And see, if they didn't play Andy any game of the year, this argument could possibly be had.
Oh my God, an
But
echo.
when you have one quarterback go in for one game, straight off the bench, and say, "I got this," and throw for 400 yards, damn near 400. You know how hard it is to throw 400 yards in the NFL? That sounds like elite quarterback talent. The man came in for 400 yards and bombed the shit out of that damn ball. And I was like, God
Yeah,
damn,
with
Andy,
our
what the
receiver.
fuck you been eating? And all of a
Mm.
sudden, Bryce Young come in the very next week and the week after and the week after, couldn't touch 200 fucking yards. So I understand people say there's problem with this
But
team.
Mike, but Mike, you got to take in the factor that they had the Hunger Games environment. You got to take it. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. This was a fucking clown fest this past year. This past season, the Carolina Panthers was a clown fest. When you got the head coach, don't understand. He's saying yes to a quarterback that he didn't want. He should have never took Bryce or never agreed to go with Bryce if that wasn't his guy, and you didn't know how to coach him. Because the number one thing is the entire team suffered off of him taking a guy he didn't know how to play calls for. He, the entire team, you got away from the run game. You decided you wanted to come out here and throw over 50% of the times, and your team was not predicated on your throw. This team was predicated on zone run blocking. Look, Steve Wilkes, y'all say what y'all want about him. He got this team. He understood that running the ball was the philosophy. You run this goddamn ball and play defense. That's what we did best, and he got away
That's a
from
fact.
it.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
Facts.
but you know what, Q? You're right. But don't forget the run game to be successful, you have to have a quarterback that the defense fears is going to throw deep and they're going to play back. You know, with Bryce, they just brought everybody up in the fucking box. We couldn't have a ground game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
were
And
predictable.
there
yeah.
was no threat for the deep ball. So, you know, our runners, hell, you know, you get Chuba Hubbard, he gets let's say he gets 800 yards. I don't know what he ended up with. That's like you can almost like double that, you know, if it was if you had a decent quarterback back there that could get the ball down the field. So yeah, you're right. But having to have a good run game, you've got to have a decent passing attack.
Well,
That's
I
true.
tell everybody the number one thing you better do if you in today's NFL, you better go out and get your goddamn quarterback and live and die by whatever the results from that quarterback is. And
Fact,
we got the wrong quarterback. I still
fact.
stand by that. My guy was AR-15. I
Yep,
always say that.
yep. Mine
Make no
too.
mistake about it.
Mine
His
too.
athletic ability would have gave us a chance week in and week out to come in and compete in the NFL, as
I'll
well
tell
as
you
he
one
was a
thing.
dynamic thrower.
Let me just give you an example. How do you win 2 games with the number 3 defense in the NFL? How do you win just 2 games? What does that
That,
tell you?
that's crazy.
I tell you,
And
your offense is terrible.
yeah,
And
and who's the architect of the offense? The quarterback.
there you
He's
go.
running the show.
But
So
hold on, Andrew, because the quarterback was terrible, but the goddamn offensive coordinator was just as bad as anybody else in the league. That fucker Thomas Brown was terrible.
Oh,
yeah,
Thomas Brown
but
blocking schemes did not help. Think about the boy was sacked 60 times now. 30 of them sacks, I can say half of them sacks came from him holding on the ball too damn long. But then the other ones, the zone blocking schemes, them boys were confused on their offensive line this year.
yeah,
Yeah, they were
the first thing I want Canales to do when he gets here, first is throw away that fucking ping
there
pong
were
table.
so many from week to week. There were so many different
fact.
voices pandering in on the offensive scheme that the lineman didn't know how deep Bryce's depth was going to be from week to week, how many drop steps he was going to actually take from week to week. So they never could get the feel for where he was in the pocket all year long.
Yeah,
They
yeah, I
never they
agree.
never could get the continuity and get the feel from where he was because this guy wanted them to do this, this guy wanted them to do that, this guy wanted them to do this and that. That's what they meant when Hayden Hurst and Adam Thielen said it was too many voices. You know what I'm saying? Too many people, I guess, with their hands in a cookie jar. You remember what I told y'all in the first place? I said they too many chiefs, not enough Indians on that coaching staff. Too many chiefs. All-star coaching staff, the Avengers, all that bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? And then Frank
Yeah,
was weak, and then Scott
but
Fitterer was
go.
weak.
Can we agree
You
on
see what
one
I'm saying?
thing? Go.
So the dominant voices try to take over. Yes, sir.
Can we agree on one thing? This whole goddamn thing was doomed from the time that they went in the off season and got
Oh
together and picked this quarterback. This shit was
yeah,
doomed.
we just didn't see it because we just didn't see it because we thought it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you get when you try to. I tell y'all the pecking order all the time. You know what I'm saying? The head man, the owner, this, that, the
Yep.
third. You know what I'm saying? The GM, this and
Yep.
that. But
That's where
if
it
you
all
if
started
you force
because
all,
it was. You're right, Kendall. That's where it all started
yeah,
because the coaching staff was bamboozled by the owner. Okay. He went
mm-hmm,
out and got this all-star coaching staff. They had a plan, and the fucking owner turned it upside down on draft day.
Well, let me
Yeah.
ask you this, Andrew. Let me ask you this, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Now that we are where we at, Senior Bowl is coming up next week. Do you think David Tepper is going to roll out the red carpet like he did last year and take the whole staff, even the cafeteria lady, to go out here and do all this scouting like he did last year? Is he going to
Oh,
be? Are
hell
we going to
no.
see David Tepper around
You
all
won't even
these
see him. Yeah.
combines? We're not
You,
going
I
to
don't
see
know
none
I
of
what
don't know
that.
if they
goddamn scouting they did last year, but it wasn't enough. Because if you call that shit scouting, but we missed on all 5 picks, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just look at the draft picks Tampa got. They all clicked. They all hit just about. And
yeah. Oh,
compared to what we
Detroit.
did,
What about
what are
Detroit,
you gonna
Andrew?
do? What DJ
All
Johnson may not
them
even
guys
be
are
on the
all
team
world.
next year.
Yeah, you look at Detroit draft picks. They all world in the fifth round. Look like they didn't miss on nothing.
Yeah.
I'll be
So
damned.
and although Canales wasn't calling the shots in Seattle, he was part of that scout team that decided which way they were going to draft. That's the way Pete Carroll, coaches. He takes a lot of input from his coaches. And so when I look at what Tampa did in the draft, and then how the Panthers did, like second day and night, man.
Oh
We've got to get back to drafting good players. It's more
yeah,
important now than any because we don't have a number one pick this year. So we've
Hmm.
got to hit on what picks we have, you guys. We got to hit on them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And and then the reports are coming out now. Like me and Q was saying a little earlier, we was talking off the phone, but I had a couple things to do before I got over here, and reports are coming out that Morgan was against a lot of stuff that was going on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm out here to think that all that Hunger Games environment you was talking about, and people going behind people back, I think they were saying they were going to the assistant GM versus going to the GM, and then he might have been going to. So Morgan might be. People keep saying Morgan stern and stubborn himself and this and that. I didn't get reports about
Go.
that.
Break that
Uh
down a
huh.
little bit more. What you saying? Because for people to get a full view, because you just swipe over that. What Gold is referring to was when the reports came out that coaches were texting the GM, telling the
Hmm.
GM that they differed in Bryce Young and his approach to what they were doing on the field. They said that they went to the GM and the GM went straight to David Tepper. Now we were under
Hmm.
the impression that it was your boy Scott Fitterer, but what Gold is saying, maybe they got GM part right, but maybe they were talking about Dan Morgan
The
because if
assistant GM. Hmm.
he totally opposed what was going on, the guys that was opposing that was no longer here out the door, they came to the GM and told him, hey, his footwork ain't right. Remember Thanksgiving? They said his footwork was directly the problem and why he was looking so terrible out there week in, week out. A coach came to the GM and said that. So go
Yeah.
ahead, go.
And then they wanted to bench Bryce Young like week 5. Dan Morgan, if you can remember, Dan Morgan went to the podium one time and said, well, he was talking about hurt players, the Terrence Marshalls, the DJ Chalks, and stuff like that. And he said, well, if you draft hurt players, they tend to be hurt throughout the season. So you didn't never see Dan Morgan too much more on the podium or out front. You know, it was more like, sit your ass back here, Dan. Don't you say nothing. You know what I'm saying? You get it
Yeah,
right yet.
when he said that, they
Don't go
took his
against
ass
team.
off the podium. Then it's like, oh
Yeah,
hell
But
no.
yeah.
go. I don't see them. I don't see them telling this nigga to sit his ass down. Not let you talk no more. Then saying, "Hey, you come on to be the GM."
Well,
That's a
probably
big.
more.
That's a big transition now. Huh?
Q bullshit.
Wiley, there is nothing to
You
even call
so
bullshit on the
gullible.
day.
You so gullible, Q. Every time
Say,
something happens at the
here we
beginning of the
Wow.
go.
off season,
Says the
you
nigga that.
say, "Oh, it's a new year. We're gonna be great." And then about the middle of the year, you start acting like Q again. Come on, man. Come
Okay,
on.
where them 850 yards at? You keep promising that
All
Terrence
I'm
Marshall
saying
gonna
is,
have.
hey, put it
Since you
down.
so
Put
damn
it down.
smart.
Put it down. Q said the same shit last off season. By the middle of the season, he would turn on him. So put it down. Put
So
it down.
what Wiley is referring to, I was never high on Frank Wright, so I don't know where the hell he got that from. I
Nope, you
got
said give him a
videos
chance.
clearly saying
Give everybody.
you
No, you
gotta give
said
your
give
coach a
Nah,
chance,
he's going
jackass.
off.
What the hell is you talking about?
all I'm saying is this. I'm gonna stand on
I
position.
oh now you
Stand on
standing
the
on
square.
business. Oh
Stand
okay.
on the square.
Yeah.
Hey, stand
Everybody
on the
who's
square.
listening, Wiley was the one that came out and said Bryce was gonna throw for over 4,000 yards. Oh, I'm
And
sorry,
hold on.
3,700.
But hold on a second.
Now
What
who's
you
standing
fail
on
to
what
no.
square?
What you
Who's
fail to
standing
say is
on what
this.
square?
No, what you fail to say is this. As
Where
soon
that
as
1,000
game one
yards
came,
of extra
hold on,
yardage that he's supposed to
stop.
be coming up
Let me reply to the
with
first
your
part.
lying
What I said
ass.
was this. At game one, I said I was in Frankfurt, and I said what? Bench his ass. Did I
I don't
not
give
say
a
that to
damn what
you?
city you in.
No
See,
context,
I
motherfucker.
told you
Context.
in
You like to say
preseason your
half the
boy wasn't
story.
gonna be
Half
shit.
the story.
I told you
Half
your
the
boy wasn't
story,
gonna be
Q.
shit. I don't give a damn
Half the
what you
story,
say.
Q.
Anyway, Wiley, Preston Williams is your boy. You sit there and you shake your titties for that little motherfucker. Where he at? Walmart? Is where he at? Sears? Is he working at Sears right now? Okay. So in other words, shut the fuck up, Wiley. So dumb ass. Only the dumbest nigga on the
no,
planet,
no,
and you right here running
no.
your mouth.
Q,
Why do we
Look
try
here,
to
dog.
make
that's pretty,
Look
all?
that's
here.
I
pretty
think
funny. Q, you kicked me off. Q,
what
pretty
y'all
funny.
what y'all doing?
I did not kick your black ass off. You got to get better internet with your dumb
That was
ass.
pretty funny. Q, pretty funny.
Look
Got
here,
that cheap
dog.
ass internet and
Preston
blaming it on
Williams.
me.
Hey,
Preston
truth
Williams,
ain't number the truth. Q,
Preston,
You
Preston
don't
Williams
know
is
the truth if
decent
it
bring
this
up
year.
all
slapped you
shit you
across the
want to.
head.
You can bring up Preston
Hey,
Williams
look at
while
that.
you want
They
to.
eating
But at
your
least
ass
one
in the
thing.
chat.
But at
Look
least
at them.
one thing. Hey, watch this. At least one thing. If I say something, I stand on it. I ain't gonna come out here at the beginning of the season and say, everybody, follow everybody. It's give them a chance. Then by week 4, fuck these motherfuckers. I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna say it from the
Wiley,
beginning.
Wiley, you scaring people away. Please shut the hell up, Wiley. Whatever you
All
talking
I'm
about.
all I'm saying is this, Q. All I'm
Look here,
saying is
dog.
this, and it's true. He gonna be fired after year 1.
Okay.
He just
Nah,
That's
said
he
it.
cool,
gonna be,
Wiley.
What happened
They're
to
not.
That's
the
Wiley. Let me
that's
tell
They're
you
not
why
gonna
you
the
do
wrong.
that's
that.
cool,
optimistic
Wiley.
Wiley, let me tell you why you wrong,
They're
Wiley,
not
because
gonna
you can
do
always
that.
come
They're
in
not
here.
gonna do that.
Let me tell you why you wrong.
They're not.
They better jump on your
They're
ass
not gonna
now,
do
Wiley.
that.
Go
Yep.
ahead, do it.
They're
Do
not
it.
gonna do
Go
that.
ahead, guys. Go ahead. Do y'all thing.
Okay. See
Dance, bitches, dance.
the difference between this man
Motherfucker
that
hit the
just had
bottom of the day.
and Frank
Nah.
Wright is that man had consistent success until you walked in our door. Frank Wright was just recently fired from the Colts. Frank Wright's career was going down before he was hired. Difference between this gentleman is that he's had success everywhere he's went, and he hasn't hit a decline in his career. So when you have a man like that, you have to sit back and say, is my coaching the problem or was it my dumbass draft pick being the problem? You get what I'm
It was
saying?
a little bit of both,
Because
bro. It was a little bit of both, bro. It was a little bit of both, bro. That fucking ugly ass shotgun all day. That shit was stupid.
Well,
why was Frank Wright fired in
Well,
Indianapolis?
hey, check this,
hard
Mike.
headed, hard
Check
headed.
this, Mike. Hold now, hold.
Him and
Now
him and
y'all
him
sit,
and the owner.
y'all sit there, what I'm getting, Mike, a little bit. You know, you blaming Frank on a whole lot, almost 100% Frank.
Wait a
It
minute.
was.
Go now. Frank should have never took this. But I didn't tell you. You
I
don't sign off on a
understand.
motherfucker
I
that ain't yours.
understand. I understand, but it's just about like what Andrew said earlier. You get that draft night, and motherfucking Temple pull the wool over your motherfucking eyes, right? Because if you can look at it, what did Frank say? Frank said we're going to run a lot of 11, 12, 13 personnel. If you just look at 13 personnel by itself, 13 personnel is three tight end sets. Three tight end sets. You're going to
Yeah,
have
that's
one sitting there right
yeah,
beside
yeah.
Icky blocking. You're going to have the other sitting up, you know what I'm saying, on the other side, one kind of split. You understand what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why you always ask, why do we carry five tight ends? That's the reason we carry five tight ends.
That's the
But Frank was
reason.
never to do that. And that's
And
a
then
heavy RPO. That's a heavy RPO set. You know what I'm saying? You can run, you can throw out and do some everything like that. Then
Go,
you end up
go.
getting a little quarterback that's in there.
no,
Hold up, Q. Hold up. That's
But
in
but
there
but
and
go.
can't run his system. You understand what I'm saying? Now you sitting there like, what the fuck am I gonna
Thomas
do?
Brown said
Now you
he wants to
sitting there
run two
all
tight
year
ends
long,
most of the
sitting there
time.
all
Go.
year long.
Even Thomas
He
Brown
Hold up
said
now,
it.
hold
shoulda.
up.
Even
You
Thomas
sitting there
He
Brown
all
said
shoulda
year
it.
long,
never
and you
signed
can't
up for that.
motherfucking. I, I understand,
I
but
don't give a
like I said,
damn
what
what
we supposed to do
excuse you
draft
put out
night?
there for
Fuck
Frank
this
Wright.
shit.
End of the day,
Huh?
if
That's
Tampa
what.
pull a fleece and the wool
That's
over my
what we're supposed to
eye,
do.
I'm giving
Draft
him my
night, he supposed to say,
resignation.
fuck this
I'm
shit. I
giving it.
didn't want
I
this. I
give him
didn't want
my
to see it.
resignation.
Okay, Q.
Y'all can clearly see
Okay.
that it was supposed to be
You're not
C.J.
gonna quit.
Stroud.
Your
That
wife
it
ain't
was
gonna
You're
let
not
supposed
you
to
do
be
gonna
that, Q.
quit.
That's
C.J.
generational
Stroud.
You're
wealth.
not
Y'all
gonna
know
quit for
This
that.
30
nigga
million
already
dollars, bro.
got money. He already got money,
C.J.
bro. He didn't need
Stroud.
this
You're not
money.
gonna quit for $30
already
million
got
dollars, bro. Nobody's
money.
gonna quit for
Nigga,
$30 million,
you ain't
bro.
gonna quit for $30 million, but you talking to a nigga that's already rich. Hell, you talking about?
Okay.
Ooh.
That's another
I mean, if
generation,
Freddie
though. You
Rich
don't get
already
it, Q.
rich.
That's another
Y'all
generation
making
rich.
y'all making regular money. Y'all niggas can't speak on that. All I'm saying.
Y'all can clearly see it was supposed to be C.J. Stroud. Frank wanted C.J. It's so
Clearly.
bad that Temple had to get up there when they fired everybody and try to half-ass explain that shit. You know what I'm saying? How it happened. No, man. You went up there and you pulled the wool over everybody's eyes on draft night, and then expected everybody to go along with it throughout the year, and they couldn't take it no more. It just kept coming out more news, more news, and more news, and more news. It was fucked from the beginning.
You're right, Kendall. You're right, 100%. That's what I said.
It was
That
fucked from
it
the
all got
beginning.
changed on draft night. All the optimism. It's like all the air got sucked out of that room on draft night,
Yeah,
and you could see it in Frank Wright's
all day.
face. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, yo, what he just said right there, that's breaking news. They Falcons are planning on hiring Raheem Morris. That's facts.
Good, good luck with that.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
Falcons
Raheem
gonna hire
Morris.
Raheem. Oh
Good,
shit.
good.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Oh my
Now, what did
goodness.
I just say
Good
earlier?
luck with that.
What I just say earlier,
Stupid
Raheem
Evero,
bird.
Morris. Here we
Go
go.
Evero
bird.
only
Stupid
interviewed for
bird.
two
Bird.
places.
The
Stupid
dumbass
bird.
birds.
Listen,
You
listen
gotta
though,
love them
listen,
Bird.
dumbass birds,
listen
man.
though.
Yeah, boy, give me
Evero
a
only
chance. Give me a chance. Keep giving me a chance, Bird. Keep
now,
giving
Keep
me a
doing
chance.
stupid shit.
now
Y'all boys do
Yeah,
me one more
Evero
Bird.
favor
only
and
interviewed
do
for
one more
two
favor
places for head coach,
and draft a linebacker
Atlanta
with your
and
first round
Carolina.
pick.
So there's a
Yeah,
good chance
Bird.
that we could keep Evero.
Hmm?
He only interviewed for Atlanta and Carolina. Evero. He only interviewed for head coach jobs for those two places. So what I'm saying is
Oh,
we're
the
keeping
chances of us
we're
keeping
keeping
Evero just doubled.
no, we're
Evero ain't
keeping
going
And if
nowhere.
we
Evero.
lose
I
him
mean,
next year,
Yeah,
we're going to draft
once they
pick.
hire Canales, we're just gonna keep Evero. We're not gonna let him go to
My
way
man
like
said,
that.
praise
Not just if
God.
Atlanta had hired him, we wouldn't have been able to keep him. What I'm saying is because of this news, 9 times out of 10 we keeping Evero because he
oh
hasn't
yeah,
had
we play.
any
Yeah.
other
I see what you're
Hey,
interest
saying,
in
hey,
Mike.
head
hey,
coaching.
Mike. Hey, Mike. Watch this. Here's the news, Mike. He's already in a fucking contract. What the fuck is wrong with you, Mike?
Motherfucker,
Man,
the
why
coach
Wiley
we
so
just
angry
got
today?
is on contract.
I
So
don't know.
everything you just said sounded retarded, Wiley.
He's under contract.
Yeah.
So was fucking Brian when he just brought
But
his
if he
ass
get a
here.
head, but what he said, if he get a head coach's
Yeah, I
job,
know.
though,
But what I'm trying to
they
say
can't
is,
stop
I
it if
got
he
that
get a
part.
head coach's
He didn't
job.
get the head
Now, he
coach's
can't
job. I
make a
got it.
lateral move.
Therefore, if he's under contract, Mike, let's make it simple. Not nine
Look,
times out
Wiley,
of 10,
don't talk to me
he's
like
under
I'm 10 years
contract.
old when I just said the same shit you said in a
No,
better
I'm
way.
not. No, you said no. He's under contract. It's not like it's 9 times out of 10. Nigga, he's under contract. Unless
It's
Wiley
nine
being a
times
the
out of
head
10
coach
jackass
don't
today.
because
want him. Unless the
pause,
head coach don't
pause,
want him,
pause, Wiley.
he's under contract.
Because if
Now,
another
Frank Reich was
another
under
team
contract too.
if
Contracts don't
another
mean
team
shit
reaches
anymore.
out and says we want
Unless
to
the current head coach don't want him.
no
That's all.
shit, Wiley. If another team reaches out and says,
Mhm.
"Hey, we want to interview Elvero," the
No.
man can still go to a different team. There's still
Head
14
coach,
vacancies for head coacher.
head coach. Yes, that's it, right? Everybody know
I
that.
know, nigga. I just said that. Stop talking because you're making yourself sound slow.
No,
Stop
I'm
doing
not
that.
sounding stupid. I'm just saying you said the obvious, nigga. What's wrong with you today?
Nigga, you
Uh-oh.
said the obvious shit. And then you turned around and talked out
What's
your
wrong with you
ass
today?
as you said it.
What's wrong with you today? What's wrong with y'all?
Stop
Okay,
doing that,
y'all.
Wiley.
Okay,
I hate
y'all.
doing this to
Gangsta
you. You
Wiley.
make me do this to you
What's
every
wrong
day.
with y'all
Yep,
today?
gangster Wally, y'all.
Ain't
Hell
no
wrong with
gangster.
Gangsta Wiley.
Let me
Ain't no
change up.
gangster.
Hey,
I'm just
let me
trying to
change up,
understand.
y'all. Let me change up what y'all saying right there. If we keep Evero, okay, so say Evero retain the DC job.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more of the same that Tepper basically is choosing this
Yep.
man's coaching staff
Yep.
once again?
Yep.
Is it more of the same?
Well, it
Or
No,
y'all
may be.
expecting some different shit?
No.
no, we expecting
I think
different
it's going
shit.
to be Morgan. This is Morgan's decision. I think because they hired
Morgan.
Morgan first, everything's on Morgan now. If we do it right.
If you do it right, exactly. That's
Man.
the key word right there. If you do it right,
Yep.
the key sentence right there. If you do it right, it's on Morgan, and
Yep.
let Morgan work. Let
Yep.
Morgan do his thing, and we'll be in a better position than we are fucking right now, bro. We're fucking instead of Nicole Tepper trying to fucking do everything and do all this bullshit, and
Mm-hmm.
David Tepper trying to do this fucko ass
Hey,
shit.
hey, let me ask you one more. Let me ask y'all one more question then. Do y'all think okay? Wiley just said it's on Morgan. Do you think it's on Morgan, or do you think Ben Johnson told him, "Motherfucker, look here, man, quit calling me, quit worrying me, quit leave me the fuck alone. I don't
But
want that fucking job."
I don't really care
but
personally.
yeah, but let me ask you this: what's the difference between Ben Johnson and David Canales, Dan Canales?
Nothing.
What's the difference?
David
It's still
Tepper
uncertainty.
wanted
It's
Ben.
still
David Tepper wanted
it's still
Ben. That's the difference.
but that doesn't mean he's be good because you already see how the fuck he thinks about. You see what the fucking product is on the field. That doesn't mean he's going to be good. It's still
David Tepper
uncertainty.
wanted Ben. That's the difference.
I'll take my uncertainty with this guy right here, that fucking Dan Morgan pick. I'll take that uncertainty. Fuck that. I never believed in Ben Johnson, honestly. Fuck Ben Johnson.
Ooh.
Fuck Ben Johnson.
That's who you
You're
I
got.
right.
never believed in him.
Why is
I
it?
never
So what?
I
Hey, this
never
what Ben
believed in him.
Johnson did. This what Ben Johnson did. He took a quarterback that went to the Super Bowl and improved him by 10%. Wow, great deal. Great job, guys. Great. This is the guy that was very innovative. This is the guy that we need to go after. A guy that took somebody that already been in the Super Bowl and don't get him back. Oh, that's the guy. That's the
Bro,
guy.
have y'all watched these fucking Detroit games and then ever thought that Detroit's about to blow this shit wide open unless it was the fucking Panthers? You never watched the Detroit game and thought that shit.
Nope.
Come on,
Nope.
man.
Well, I
Exactly,
thought they was
right?
gonna lose. I thought they
Exactly,
was gonna
right?
lose to Tampa. I thought they was gonna lose to
I thought
Tampa.
it was gonna lose it, man. I thought it was gonna lose the last 4 games, bro. Every game I watched, and I watched all of them. I thought it was gonna lose the last 4 games. Come on, man. Like we gotta look with our eyes and not with our hearts and not with our trying to overthink this shit, bro. It's football, bro. It's not that fucking difficult. It's not that difficult.
It's got to be difficult somewhere,
But
Al. We 2-15.
I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's a chess game. It's a chess game. It's a chess game. And I'm not saying, but it's not like he's a lock to be the next best thing smoking. He's not, bro. It's uncertainty. Shit, you got the same odds as fucking Canales. You got the same odds as McDonald from fucking the Ravens. Todd Monken's old ass. You got the same odds as all of these motherfuckers. So it's not like, oh, we got the fucking worst pick. So like, oh, this is like the bottom of the barrel type coach. Nah, bro. I mean, obviously somebody wanted him because they was looking at him. A bunch of teams was looking at him.
Yeah, well.
A bunch of teams was looking at him.
We talked about it last night, Goat. This one ain't got no stink on him. So hey,
yeah, and he doesn't got no stink on him, bro.
You hope
he
doesn't have no stink on him.
Hey,
it's not Raheem.
No, he ain't got that on him
Raheem
now.
Morris.
He ain't got that on him now.
It's not Raheem Morris.
True. And not only that, think about it like this. If they really do it right, say they kept Evero in the defensive side of the ball, that means they really can concentrate on the offensive side and special teams, right? Offensive and special teams. That means really half of the team. Now, you got to draft some guys on defense, true. You replace some guys on defense, true. But that young coach doesn't have such a big hurdle. I mean, the Panthers want to play a 3-4. That's what the owner wants. So you got a guy that can play a 3-4. You got a coaching staff that can coach a 3-4. You overachieved last year with the guys you had. It'd be crazy just to flush that down the drain to try to get somebody else in here. They may have a different philosophy. So they're 3-4. Go ahead.
What's that shit you call? What's that shit? We got the big ass stick and you got to go with that big ass hurdle. that's Bryce Young. We got that big ass Povo.
There you go.
That's Bryce Young. That's Bryce Young right there. But I mean, once he gets over that, once he figure that out, we be straight, bro. We're gonna be straight, bro. I mean, I'm the eternal optimist, and I mean, we're not the best team, bro. I mean, yeah, since Tepper came over, but I'm always an eternal optimist. Like, I want to see us succeed. Even I was watching all these fucking games with Bryce Young, still hoping for this nigga to fucking win. Like, show me something, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? God damn, bro.
Hey, but, I'm gonna give you some bad news,
and
brother.
I know he's not it. I know he's not it.
Not that. When I got on this panel, I was an optimist. Q has killed that. That's why you got what you got now from Wiley. This is all Q's making. I was telling y'all, when y'all be talking shit about me, realize who the guy that got me there. At the beginning, I was all optimistic. I said crazy shit. How we gonna do great things?
So you motherfucker, you! I'm in the back of my truck, couldn't get here fast enough. You lying sack of shit! You lying motherfucker, you!
Why Wally always do that kind of bullshit, man? I swear to God.
Hey, solo Mike, was I not optimistic, Mike? Was I not optimistic when you first got on here, Mike?
I don't know about all that, Wally. You were full of shit, though. That's what you were, full of shit.
Okay.
The only thing that man optimistic about is Chuba Hubbard.
That joker say Red want to join the panel, him and Gangster. Man, nobody get fucked by hearing what Red talk about today. We talking about our coach.
Red want to get on here and talk about Raheem Morris.
And go carry your ass over there to that Falcon shit over there, man.
You ain't talking about Dave.
Give us another day, Red. Give us another day, Red. Let us get over the shit we got going on.
By next week. Shut up.
Oh.
Talking about some Belichick by next week. Man, Belichick don't want to go to that shit.
Belichick.
Belichick's gonna retire. Belichick's gonna retire. Belichick's gonna retire.
Yeah, nobody want him.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, exactly. He's too old right now, bro. The progressive league right now.
No,
man, look at here.
Go ahead.
First of all, it's 81 motherfuckers in this motherfucker. I need to see.
That's what I was about to say.
Likes. Let me see them
on
likes
the
come
video.
Up. Let's subscribe. Kick it with us. Kick your feet up. What's cracking? Hit the like button. It's free.
No doubt. Tell them again, Mike. Tell them again.
It's free. Just hit the like button. Show some love. You be kicking it with us every day. Hit the like button. Fuck with us a little bit.
Boy, Mike is on his job today.
Yeah, he is. Shout out to Mike.
There you go.
Q. You ain't on your job though.
Red Swarm. You better tread lightly, you motherfucker. You.
Hey, yeah, I am, Mike. I'm on your shit.
Hey, ain't gonna stay in here long, man. I'm gonna let y'all continue enjoying eating y'all canales while I go and eat some crow, man.
Let's get your ass up out of here. You already done fucking up our coach name.
No,
Let's
no,
get your ass
no.
up out of here.
Man, Q, I tried to help you with his name earlier. That
Hey,
shit
but
you
you need to
been
worry
doing.
about your motherfucker you got over there.
Oh, talking about Raheem the Dream.
I don't give a damn what his
Damn,
name is.
man.
It gonna be
Hey
losing the
man,
Oh.
NFC
Raheem
South a
the
game is his
Dream.
name. Yeah.
I don't know about that. We
Oh
we
my
we we
God.
got y'all to pull up the bottom of the
Oh
barrel. I don't
wow.
know about that,
It's
man.
all good. Yeah, we're gonna get
Yeah,
your ass up out of here. All right.
yeah.
You
Don't do it
campaigning
to
for it today.
don't do it to me 2 times today. I was just fucking around earlier with that bullshit Wolf did, man. Hey,
Okay,
but
I kick Wolf ass up out of here. I get your ass right back up out of here
with
again.
with the quickness you did. But listen,
Yes,
man,
sir.
I'm not really mad with Raheem. He's been here before, man, and I am a little bit disappointed, man, that they didn't we got some problems in our front office, man, because they couldn't get this shit set up with Belichick, man. He didn't even interview with nobody else. So
Nigga, we don't care.
say what you will, say what you will. He's older. He didn't want to go through the rigor of going to know 5 different teams, sitting down with motherfuckers. You know, I think that he felt like he could get it worked out without the blank man. But this motherfucker Rich McKay, man, and that's Arthur Blank right hand man. That's his motherfucking little finger in here. So I think it'll come out for us eventually that he held the whole shit up, man. But either way, I'll say this quick, and like I said, I'll let y'all fellas get back to it. I wanted to come in here because I done talked big shit about Belichick. So I ain't gonna be one of them running hide motherfuckers, man. So I came on. But my whole thing is that for me, I wouldn't give a damn who we brought in here. For me, the whole key is who we have run our offense, man. Because it was very evident for my team this year that we didn't have a quarterback and we didn't have a play caller. So Raheem is another defensive guy. So it's gotta for me the whole key gonna be who the fuck you bring here to run this offense as his coordinator, man. So hey, again, like I said, we get our quarterback. Hopefully, we get a decent offensive coordinator so we can start winning the NFC South 3, 4, 5 years in a row, man. I see y'all.
Hey, look, man, y'all
Yeah.
defensive coordinator wasn't that good anyway. Y'all just hired the
Okay,
nigga that was
okay.
average.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking to Mike, but because you can say what you want to say. The motherfucker wasn't out there for a day, and Jacksonville snatched him up. So you can't tell me that Jacksonville head coach don't know what the fuck he looking at. So you
Hey,
you
look,
can miss
man,
me
I
with
just
that.
told you.
He's gone. He's gone. I don't give a fuck about him, but you can miss me with that because Ryan Nielsen was a hell of a defensive coordinator. If you take a motherfucking defense from 28th in the league to 11th in the league in one season, you can miss me with that shit you talking, Mike.
Hey,
Well,
you
he
saying that
wasn't
you
Red,
a good
preaching,
red,
Red. You
defense.
red,
preaching, Red. You preaching.
red. We
You
ain't
preaching.
He
convinced,
wasn't a
red. I'm
good
sorry.
defense.
Yeah,
We ain't
yeah,
convinced.
yeah, yeah,
Fuck it,
yeah.
man.
Like I
I
say, like I said, you can miss me with that. I mean, you like to start and stir up some shit now. Like they say, old shit stank too. You like to
Hello,
stir up some shit, but I
hello.
like for you to at least make sense with it, Mike. Make it make sense, bro. I was talking for damn near, I was talking for damn near 4 minutes, and that's the best you could come up with when I shut my mouth.
Damn. Woo! That's cold blooded. Yeah,
I mean,
cold
come
blooded.
on with it, Mike. Wiley laughing at you because Wiley keep that gun he got loaded. I know Wiley keep his loaded with facts. You know what I'm saying? So damn, Mike, you disappoint me, bro. You disappoint me.
I don't know, but over here, Red, I still got concerns. I got concerns on my side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Y'all might be all right with Raheem, but I got concerns on my side because it's you just don't change a Hunger Games type environment, you know what I'm saying, overnight
yeah,
because you put one GM in. And then I had concerns about that. I got concerns about that one GM, but I'm letting him live for right now to see
yeah,
what he gonna do.
yeah,
Then
yeah,
I got concerns about the coaching pick because make no mistake, y'all, they only picked old buddy because one, Dan Morgan worked for him
Dan
in
Morgan.
Seattle,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
number two,
Say
they
it.
looked at the success that he had with Baker.
Baker.
So I'm
Hello.
Yeah,
trying to say you had success with this short quarterback
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was just over here getting balls batted down, couldn't run the offense the way we needed to, and then you had success when you get to the playoffs with him. Okay,
Big bank.
come in here and see what you can do with my little quarterback. So therefore, you still also all in on Bryce.
1
Somebody
year.
is still all in on Bryce. I
Yeah.
don't know, Wiley,
Tampa.
because this is the thing you say about it. You hire the head coach, which is an offensive coordinator. So one thing you want is continuity with that young quarterback and that motherfucking OC. So
But
if
you
the
just said,
OC is
but
the head
you
coach,
got you. But you just said something, right? If he comes in here after doing what he did with Baker, and Bryce ain't no better, guess what? It's all on Bryce.
Yep, all on him now.
but do you say once again, oh well, this is the first year he had with
No,
with
no,
with,
you
with
don't say that.
Canales.
No.
You know what I'm
No,
saying? So
no,
let's
no,
give him one
no,
more year with him. Because
no,
see, you looking to
no.
say give him one more year with him because see, there's some people that say it take 3 years for a quarterback to pop. It's some people that say don't give him nothing but a year. Some people say 2 years. Some people, you
Well,
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
they say that with free agency too, and what Baker just did. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, but go, and I appreciate you making that statement that you just made because I don't know if everybody ought to just laughing so hard at the fact that Raheem is my head coach instead of Belichick that they missed what I said. I said my concerns fell on the offensive side of the ball, yet we went and hired a defensive minded
Yep.
coach, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. But this is my point to the whole thing. I'm at least aware of what the issues was. The issues was at play calling and our quarterback. So we
Well, look, Red.
scrapped both of them. We
Look,
scrapped
Red.
both of them. Yeah.
This is where you at with that. Look at how copycat league this is. You always hear that shit, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Who went and hired a black defensive minded coach that went and got him a
Houston.
good OC?
But
You see
all
what I'm
both
saying?
of them.
You don't
All
think they
both
looking
of
at
them.
that shit too?
Antonio
You don't look at
Pierce. Yep.
you don't
Yep.
think they looking at that
And
shit
this
too?
time around,
Huh?
what 3 of us have done already?
Hello.
Yeah, same shit.
Yep.
Hello.
Same shit.
Yep.
All right.
Same shit.
All
You
right.
see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah. And
Same shit.
actually, I mean, Canales
Then
is the minority. I mean, he's offensive minded, but
well,
he's a hard nosed guy still.
But Red, look at this. You look at this. Another trend. You go hire a motherfucker around 30 something to 40 something years
There you
old that
go.
can
There you
connect with
go.
these young boys.
There you
Offensive
go.
minded. You
You
understand
got
what I'm saying?
to.
That's
You
the
got
trend
to.
too. That's the
You got
trend
to.
too.
You
But
got
why?
to.
But go why? Why they hiring them young boys like that?
To connect with the young boys, to connect with
No.
these young guys coming from these. I keep telling y'all, these young players today is
It's
different.
different. They
These young
different,
kids
Wiley.
today,
They are
the
different,
young kids
Wiley.
Yep.
today is
Yep.
Yeah.
different. You
And
Yeah.
understand
also
what I'm saying?
bring
Wiley,
bring
what
something
they said,
new.
ho,
Bring
Wiley,
something
ho, Wiley,
new. Go ahead.
Wiley. They say Bravel. If y'all sit there about Bravel, and we was supposed Bravel was supposed to today. Bravel was supposed to interview today. Hell,
Yep.
last night, really, when they announced that, cause Adam
Damn
Schefter
sure
last
was.
night
Yep. Yep.
announced that the Canales was going to be the man today.
Yep.
Everybody might got it this evening or around about lunchtime, but Ian was talking about it early last night. You
Yep.
understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
In the wee hours of the night. Now listen, Bravel was supposed to interview over here today.
Mm-hmm.
Today, they probably
Mm-hmm.
didn't even let him in the motherfucking building. I probably told him it was all right. They've
Yeah,
done that before.
they stopped
Now,
that. They stopped that jet. They stopped that jet before it hit Charlotte.
Turn it on around. Yeah, turn it
Yep.
on around. Take it on
Yeah.
back to Tennessee.
Yep.
What they did, then he was at Arthur House last night.
Damn sure was.
He was just at Arthur House yesterday. Okay,
Yep.
now here we go. Then we come back. We hire a young, offensive-minded motherfucker like the trend
Yeah.
that could coach our small quarterback that just coached a small quarterback, right? Okay, they say Bravel over there in Tennessee, they say some people down the cross for him. Then they say some motherfuckers was like, man, fuck him, because he still got that old school Bill Belichick attitude about
That's
himself.
right.
He was
That's
telling
right.
motherfuckers, one of the biggest
That's a
things
hell of a
about it,
point.
they was telling motherfuckers, okay, don't bring your kids in the locker room. Just like
Yeah.
that same shit Bill O'Brien did
From New
over there in
England.
Texas. You
Yep.
understand? That
Yep.
New England shit. A lot of
Yep.
the young players didn't like that. You see them all the time. They want to have their kids in the interview room, all up on the podium,
Wow.
all kind of shit
Wow.
like that. You see what I'm saying? But these old school motherfuckers say, yo, you handling business, man. Do that shit later on. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just little shit nowadays.
Younger coaches, that shit don't bother them.
Yeah,
And
they
one
out
of the
there
reasons
dancing.
why, cause they got
Yeah,
kids 7, 8, 9
yeah.
years old.
Exactly. Little babies and shit.
There we
But
go.
what the younger coaches doing though? After the game,
You going to the motherfuckers
if
to
they
the
win and shit,
club,
they
to
dancing.
the
Are they
and they going
dancing?
to
They
Hey,
dancing in the locker room and
they
and
gonna
shit.
they
live them.
You
making
see what
it
I'm saying?
rain,
They
and them
just like
Stop,
motherfuckers,
what
them
you
stop it,
doing.
motherfuckers
Red.
making it
Stop it,
rain.
Red.
Well,
Stop
no,
it, Red.
Why
Stop
you
it,
know
Red.
it's the truth? You know it's the truth, Wiley. They in there throwing that money up. Shit, they doing it. Shit.
Oh man.
Hey, look, it's CJ Stroud with all the millions of dollars. Say to the head coach, hey man, I want to take my coaches out, the whole staff. And then the motherfucking limo pull up at the strip club. What you think he gonna say? No, young buck, I'm gonna take it on in, man. I'm gonna go see the wife. He gonna get his motherfucking wife on the phone. He gonna say, hey, baby, I thought this shit might end about 11, man, but we gonna be out for a little while. Okay.
Red. I go one step farther than that. Cam Newton. You remember on that
Oh,
interview he was doing with the pivot or somebody? He said Bill Belichick is
Yes.
cool. He said
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is cool. Y'all remember that? And then
Yeah.
the boy, I think it was Spears or one of them boys. He said, I don't reference Bill Belichick and being cool in the same sentence. You see
They
what I'm
don't go
saying?
together.
They can't
Yeah.
see it. They don't go
Yeah.
yep.
together. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So now Cam Newton 30-some years old. What the
Yeah.
fuck is the 21-year-old gonna say? You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh,
Thank
lame,
you. Thank
lame.
you. Thank you.
And
Yeah,
that ain't but 10, 11 years worth of difference. You see what I'm saying?
He
that's a
would have
big
been
difference
cool
though.
to the 21-year-old Cam.
No,
Nah,
not
I
at
know what you're
all.
saying.
oh
Yeah.
Not at
no,
all.
Yeah.
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
not at all.
Shit.
So it's in the trend. The trend in NFL now is getting younger, getting
Yep.
innovative,
Yep.
Here we
Yep.
go. Here we
getting
Yep.
go.
young, getting innovative,
Yep.
getting young. And I'm
Innovative.
surprised about that retread.
Me too.
You got over
Me
there,
too.
Red.
Me
I'm
too. Go.
surprised about
Woo!
Me
that retread.
go.
You see what I'm saying? That's why
Listen.
I'm
I,
surprised
I've
at
been
I
that.
don't
on the.
understand.
I've been on the websites all day long. I've been following it, and I'm gonna tell you something. They was putting it up strong. I thought maybe Verbal, coming in and with
Oh,
all
here
the
we go.
talk about Arthur Blank, one experienced coach. I thought that it was leaning towards that way. But
No.
everything I was reading from the Atlanta reporters was saying that Raheem Morris blew them away Tuesday night, man. Said he blew them
Okay.
away. So, and it said that he did more to move them away from this whole Belichick thing and settle it with all of the front office. Then, and maybe he was able to do that because he knew Rich McKay from before. You see what I'm saying?
There you go.
But either way, hey man, he got the job. Plenty of people
Hey,
said it was going to be a
I'm
black coach,
elevated.
hey,
for
Red.
Atlanta. So we'll see.
I'm elevated.
Yes,
Slow down,
sir.
Red.
Yes,
I have a
sir. Yes,
question.
sir.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
Red.
yeah, Wiley.
So why is this? Last night we were debating that outstanding 500 winning coach Grable. Why y'all didn't choose that guy? He's 500. I'm just saying.
Hey, I can't call it. Wiley. I
I'm
can't
just
call
saying.
it.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I can't call it. Shit,
I'm just
God
saying.
bless you, Q.
I'm
God bless you.
elevated. I got
No,
him in the
that
room
was me.
already.
That was me. That was me. Excuse
Oh,
me.
my bad, Goat.
Bless you, Goat.
I'm like Goat. I didn't see a retread. You know what I'm saying? A rehashing of it. But
Yep.
hey, listen. It's like all I can say is like this, and you may not appreciate my saying it, and you might say, "Hey, it's the truth, Red." Hey, look here. At the end of the day, the motherfucking owners have spoke. So we got the coaches that we got. All I can say is I hope the motherfucker get the right offensive coordinator because that shit I saw out of my offense last year, I don't want to see that shit again, man. I
Now,
don't want to see that shit again.
didn't Raheem Morris coach at Tampa?
Tampa Bay. Yep.
So we
Yep.
took from Tampa, and now y'all done took from Tampa history.
Oh, we had
Damn.
him. No. We had him.
He was a
We had him
defensive
from
coordinator over
Tampa.
there
We got
before.
him from Tampa.
A
Yeah.
linebackers coach or something like that. Yeah.
And he was
Yeah,
an
that's what I'm
interim
saying.
head coach over here. He was interim
Yeah.
head coach over here.
Yeah, he done been over there one time.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
sir. Yes,
know him.
sir. Enough talk about this Falcon trash.
Thank you, Q.
Today is head
I'm
coaching
done.
day.
I'm
And
done, Q.
okay, I got you. Hey, look here.
I got
Head
you.
coaching day. It's head coaching day for the Carolina Panthers, and I'm gonna start getting last words because, like I say, man, it's a joyous day for Panther fan. It's a joyous day. Red Swan, caw. Go ahead. Let's get your last words first.
Let me see. Last word. I'll be quick with it. Wait and see.
It's a hell of a last word right there.
Huh?
Well, Jalen, talk to me.
My last word would be, you know what? I'm starting to gain a little bit more faith because Dan and Dave, they have worked together. So now we have people that could work together now and not bang heads. So hopefully we draft right, because that's the thing for me to tell me that Dan Morgan is the right choice is the draft, man. So I'm really gonna wait for the draft, to be honest, to get my hopes up. And I have one word: Braylon Allen gotta be my running back, man. He gotta be.
I can fuck with that.
Yes, sir, Jalen. We appreciate you, man. Talk to me over there, popping. What's going on?
Well, let's see. We finally solidified some key points of this team. D and D. I want to see what the hell they gonna do. And still, we're gonna keep praying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, man. Wiley from Panthers cross the seas. Talk to me.
Well, it's going to be an interesting offseason. We're going to see some people jump out the window. So I'll be here to highlight it. Uh, keep praying.
I imagine your ass would. Anyhow, Mike, make sense of this shit while it just spew out of his mouth, man.
I can't do that. That man don't talk in nothing but circles, man.
Mm,
Anyway,
mm.
look,
Fuck
shouts
you,
out to
Q.
Go said,
I know you ain't gonna let him go with that, Wiley. I know you ain't gonna let him get away with that, Wiley.
Fuck you, Q.
Yeah, yeah, fuck you too,
hey, Go
bald
said
headed
yesterday.
bastard.
Go said yesterday. Go said yesterday that he had to start. Dan Morgan had to start fast, and he had to do something. And in
Yes,
reply,
sir.
he started fast, and he
He did.
said, "I'm gonna go get my guy for court for the coach." Now he don't have an opportunity to go get his guy for QB, but he went and got his guy for coach. And if you look at his guy, his past quarterbacks has been 6 foot, 5'11". Bryce Young's 5'10". He fits the type of coach that may know how to deal with someone that's Bryce size. Now his abilities, we don't know. Can he develop him to where he needs to be? We don't know. But to be optimistic that our coach and our GM might be in the trend in the right direction is something that we can finally look at and accept. I won't say they're gonna do everything we want to see, but this is the one time I could say let's wait and see with optimism, and I'm out.
Oh, Mike, you talk plenty shit, but you got good analysis. I give you credit where it's due, bro.
No, no, Red. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'll
Appreciate
be
it, Red.
damned.
Yes, sir.
So the moral of the story today, before I get to the goal, the moral of the story of the day is change is an uncomfortable process. You must be willing to undergo strategic change in order, because if you look at Atlanta, they got their change today, and I'm so glad for it. And you can look at Carolina and you can say we got our change, Canals. Hopefully we can sit back and watch the trajectory of these guys and just pray for good directions. Talk to me, go.
Is your wife a mental health professional? You
Who
sound
mine?
like you married. I already know. That's why I say
My,
you sound like
yeah,
you married.
so she's social worker. Social
Well, it's
worker,
the
yes,
same
sir.
thing. It's the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Well,
Talk to me,
I
go.
tell you, I tell you what, you just said all that change and this and that, but we got change. Is it just a name change, or is it a positive change, or is it change for the better, change for the worse? I don't know, y'all. I'm split slam down the middle, cause
Mm.
they ain't swayed me one side, left, right yet. I'm in the middle. I ain't saying nothing bad yet, and I ain't saying nothing good yet. I'm gonna take the
Mhm.
middle. I'm gonna take the gray area out. I'm gonna sit over here in the gray area is what I'm gonna do. Now, like I told you yesterday, if Dan don't start fast, Dan do some dumb shit, Dan get rid of Brian Burns, or Dan don't sign him, whatever. Okay, Dan, I'm watching you. Then here come this free agency, here come this draft. I'm on your ass. Canales, if you come in here fucking up, if Bryce Young look bad, you don't bench him, and all y'all is Tepper lights, motherfucking disciples of Tepper. I'm on your ass.
Made
That's all
Jalen
I got to
laugh.
say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shouts out
I'm
to
gonna go
everybody in the chat.
YA.
Yeah. Goat don't play.
Well,
Goat
I'll
don't
be
play.
damned. You listen to this right here. Look, if you like what you heard today, do us the favor, comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Do us that favor as well. I put it in the chat. It's called the Tailgate Experience, which you see the moniker right there. Do us the favor, subscribe to that channel if you like talking about all 32 channels. Red Swarm.
Thank you.
Make sure
Thank
you
you.
have your
Thank
ass
you.
over there at the
Yeah.
Tailgate Express where you're welcome to
Thank you.
talk all your Falcon shit, Red
Thank you,
Swarm.
sir. Thank you, sir. I just appreciate a few
Tailgate
minutes.
experience.
Yeah.
Tailgate experience.
Now,
Tailgate
don't let me drop
experience.
another damn link and you ride right by that link and act like you don't see it.
I got you, Q. I got you,
Yes, sir.
third, cuz I
Yes,
got
sir.
you.
Talk to your heart's content on the Tailgate Experience.
That's a call.
Somebody kill that
Okay.
bird.
Shout out to the Dirty Birds.
Yeah,
Taco Tuesdays are lit now.
shoot that bird.
Here we go.